Hey, what up? I was talking to you guys. What's up?
Oh, hey. What's
Hi.
up, Michael?
What's
Hi.
up with
Hello.
you?
Oh, nothing much. Just doing another episode of Off Topic, and you're on it right now.
Crazy.
I'm here. I'm Michael. We got Lindsay, Jeremy, and Gavin. This is 250.
Dude.
I say too many.
Just the number 2 and then many.
Yeah.
Many.
Mm-hmm.
We should label all of them in the next coming week.
Oh, God. In the next, coming 50 episodes. We got a real barn burner on our hands today.
That's a good taco.
It is a good taco. Man, I remember Torchies.
Remember
Oh, is
those?
Yeah, it was like barn burner. What? Yeah, I never
Yeah,
had the taco.
Is that like
Taco.
a
Taco.
monthly special one or is that just a bog
It is.
standard?
Yeah,
It
I think
is.
that's
It's that
a special.
month. It's a month where they do like the 4 different tacos in 1 month. So it's like every
Oh.
week is a new one, but they're all spicy and kill you.
The only month I give a shit about is whatever month the Roscoe shows up in. That's
Roscoe,
that's
that's
my
the
jam.
chicken
I love that
waffle.
Roscoe.
Yeah.
It's good, but it's not my favorite.
Whoa.
But I know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm
Your
a
opinions
basic Baja shrimp
yourself.
bitch all the way.
You say you're a Baja shrimp bitch?
I am. Yeah, basic Baja shrimp bitch. Absolutely. Grilled, not fried. Thank you.
Fair play.
No cabbage slaw.
Yeah, get that out of there. My tacos are very simple. It's like I want the most minimal of things, please.
Keep
I
it
don't know what that
simple.
says about me.
Like
Yeah.
a flour tortilla with just a corn one inside.
Yeah, I have corn tortilla, like Baja shrimp. I do that get that a lot. So I'll get the shrimp itself, again, grilled, not fried, because I'm trying to watch my weight. Then a little bit of lettuce, maybe some cheese, and the tortilla. That's it.
Whoa, and that's the taco.
That's all I need.
They've got good bean and cheese. It's just some slop scooped into a tortilla, but it's good.
I feel like it needs a little bit of crunch though. I'd like some crunchy onion with it. I feel like
Okay.
just eating bean and
It's very soft.
Goo bean with
It
goo
is.
cheese.
It
It's just
is.
like
It's very like it's a no teeth meal for sure.
Yeah,
See, you just
taste.
described Bill Miller taco is what we've got for a long, long time. And I don't know how you feel about those in general, Gavin. Like if there's a meat bit inside of the bean and cheese, are you okay with it? Or is it just that like goopy combo as a whole? Like that's not
Yeah,
allowed
I'd
in
be
any
okay
food
with
for you.
with anything in addition. I just feel like the paste only. There's little satisfaction in it. Like I'll get them down. They just slip right down the gullet,
They
which
do.
is fine
Yep.
if you're hungry. But I never crave just like a box standard paste taco.
Ooh,
Oh,
that's
there's a
the
Roscoe.
Roscoe.
Dude, and they really get fancy. I've only seen this a couple of times. When they give you that maple syrup in a jar. I've gotten it in a little glass jar.
really?
Ooh,
Yeah, not just that
classy.
plastic.
Ooh.
It's only happened maybe 1 year when Torchies
Why
was
didn't you bring it
doing
home?
The little
Why don't we
tons.
own
It was a
that?
little touch. It was a little touch. It was a waste, quite frankly, is what it was. But I went cool, and then I threw it away or recycled it
Yeah.
or whatever. But I felt
Wherever it ended
classy.
up.
Yeah, I felt
We
classy.
could be pouring tiny bits of syrup all over this house and
Yeah,
you threw it away.
Keep refilling it. Okay.
For a second,
Oh, that
Jeremy, I
was-
thought that the headphones cable was like a straw to that glass in the white
Yeah,
shop.
I don't really want to drink. Like I don't want to drink on camera much, so it's just down here. Every now and again, I just like the tiniest, thinnest little straw too.
Yeah.
Like you'd get so
That
little.
would be, that'd be all foam.
You
That
get
was-
single droplets like in wine.
That was really funny because you just reversed me there. I didn't think it was anything, but then I thought I misunderstood what you're saying, and I thought it was a straw then. Like I
Oh.
thought it was headphone cables, and then when he picked it up, I went, "Oh, that's a straw." Oh no, he was okay. I missed it. I missed it all. It's okay.
Oh, it is. It's the
A
white
wearable
and red
straw.
ones. Kat bought these for herself. She designed them and was like, "I really, really like these." And then we got them in. She put them on and went, "Well, I don't like them as much as your old ones." And I was like, "All right, well, I'll take these ones. You take the old ones." She went, "Okay, cool."
So what's the design on them?
Well, I mean, just like the color palette of it and everything, the white and
Oh, I
the
see.
red, and like they're like the Astro things. You can just like pick your color schemes and stuff.
kind of
'Cause my
headphones
old
are
ones
they?
just black. Astros. I think they're Astro A50. It says on the side.
They
Sure
look
does.
comfy.
Yeah, they do.
40s, A40s.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm wearing. I effing love these.
yeah.
These are my favorite headphones.
What are these ones?
For like, yeah, they're the exact same ones that I'm wearing. They're just
Yeah,
different
probably.
color. Yeah, they're A40s.
Yeah, I used
They're
to
just
love using
super
those.
comfy.
Honestly, though, like working
Yeah.
from home and like the way my desk is all set up, I hate having a wire now. So I've just moved to
That makes sense.
wireless, so I can like get up and do PP and still be in the meeting or get a drink, and the cats don't rip my wires out.
Yeah, but it's a good replacement for like slamming a phone or something. You take your headphones off and you slam them on the ground. Like if you got to leave dramatically.
Yeah, see, I always get my
I
headphones.
feel like with a wireless one, you would just leave. Because you can. It's
There's
kind of
nothing
like
to, shed.
Well, you have to take them off, so then you might as well throw them since they're in your hand.
You could have like an angry Discord sound, like I'm
Yeah.
leaving.
Or I could just rip my shirt off and slam that.
There you go.
Do
There you
that. Sure.
I always accidentally rip the cable on my cord too. Like, so I feel you, Gavin. If I'm on my headphones and I like turn my chair to address my children, I always rip like my head for a second. You know?
got to make sure
Like,
it's like not caught in anything. It's a pretty decent
It's a dance.
length wire, but you always wrap it up. Well, what I like too is I've got several monitors here, and usually when I'm not wearing the headphones, I'll just take them off and I hang them on the corner of one of the screens, like whatever screen I'm not using, and I just use it as like a headphone stand. Anytime Lindsay comes here, I sit down and it's on the floor wrapped around the chair. It's like she gets up without taking them off, and they just rip off on her head and just
pings back,
fall wherever. Every time I'm
Absolutely.
like, why are they down here?
I get caught. I go, damn it. Well, I have to go take care of something else. I'm just going to leave them there.
I used to get irrationally angry. It happens less now because I use AirPods more, like wireless, like earphones and stuff. But when it was the cable, and I used to like walk past something and like catch it on a door handle, and it would just rip my headphones out of my ears, I'd get like way more annoyed than I should. Like instead of being like, oh damn it, I'd be like, oh, why do I keep doing that? Why does that keep happening? Just get irrationally mad.
There was a string of time that I was terrified of wearing my headphones on, like the earbuds, when I was running on treadmills, because I kept accidentally hitting the cable with my hand during the motion.
Yeah.
It would punch the cable, and it would result in either my headphones ripping out of my ears or my phone flying out of my pocket, hitting the treadmill and sending to the back of the gym.
So
like, oh,
I've had both of those things happen to me, and I feel you, Gavin. I get way too irrationally upset. But the worst was at the gym. That happened to me a couple times. I've had the classic, like Jeremy just said, you drop your phone or like it flies off the treadmill.
Yep.
I had one time where I had my wired headphones in. I tried to change the music on my iPod. I drop it. The cable's long enough to where it hit my treadmill, and I'm still mid-run. So then I stepped on it as I was running. So I kicked it, and it kind of like flew across the gym behind me as my headphones ripped out of my ears, and I fell forward onto the treadmill and kind of like tumbled off of it.
Like an explosion.
So yeah, everyone was like, what just happened? I'm like, I'm sorry. I need that back. Thank you.
Yeah, there's something very jarring about it.
God damn. Yeah, it's I have a normal reaction to it, because like the thing that still happens to me is these get torn off my head if like two of my cats are not coordinated, and so they get all tangled up in all the cables every time they come over here. So like Zipper or Booker will get on my lap or something while I'm working, and we'll get tangled in this, and then something will get their attention, and they'll jump down, and it will rip these off. And it doesn't really hurt, but out of frustration, I always go, ow! Like, as if that will make them feel bad. Right? Like, what you've done hurt me.
Let it be known.
Dude, I hate getting like yanked or nudged by like a wire or some force, or it's like if something like it'll be like a weird freak scenario, but like if a piece of your clothing gets caught on something, I feel like your shirt's like you have like a baggy spot or something, and it'll get like caught on a fucking doorknob or something. Like the door yanks you, and you're like, what the fuck? Or like if you go to put your hands in your pockets, but you like miss the thumb or something, or like it's just like weird shit. The thing that annoys me, that's so minor, but like it drives me up the fucking wall, is if I'm sitting in my chair, usually like just on the computer or playing a game or whatever, Iris will come over and watch, and she's got like 6 different chairs to sit on, but she'll lean on my chair and just fucking swivel it while I'm sitting on it. So I'm just like, she's just doing this to me. And like, it's funny because that's another, I don't know, like I feel like a fidgety thing, you know, like most of us, you go back to like old off topic when you see our legs, we're all just like shaking our legs on the bar stool or whatever. It's just like a fidget thing. That's another one. But you doing it yourself is totally different than someone else just going like this to you for like 30 minutes. And I'll just be like, hun, please stop spinning my chair. And like, I'll pick her up and move her like in like 2 inches away. And then she just comes back and she's like, and she's not even looking at it. She's like looking at the screen while she's just going like this, pushing my chair. And I'll just be like,
well, I feel like you doing it yourself is like the release. But when it's done by someone else, it's like the opposite. It's like bottling up, and you have like you're so restricted on freedom. You're like,
yeah, right.
You have to release it,
right. It's also a thing having kids. You realize like when you're grabbing your kids or your babies or whatever, it's like, yeah, I can see why that's annoying. Like especially once they start walking and crawling and stuff. You know, you could just hold your kid, and if they're trying to get somewhere, within 2 seconds they're like, and they'll start screaming, and it's just like the equivalent would be like a 12-foot person walking up to you and just going, nope, you can't move, and you're just like, let me go, stop, let me go, stop holding me. It's like I'll look at her and I'll be like, man, this must be really fucking annoying. I can just walk over to you and pick you up. I'm like, nope, you're not going that way anymore. Oh shit, like imagine you were driving somewhere back in the day and someone just picked your car up and put it in another direction. That'd be so annoying.
Like, come on. Like, I had a goal. I had a destination.
I was 5 minutes away.
See, I have the same thoughts, but on a positive aspect. Like when I'm feeling shitty, I'm like, I need just like a giant to pick me up and hug me and rock me back and forth and give me snacks.
Well, that's, I mean, you've also described a baby. They like that too when they're ready for it. It's just not when they're on the go, not when they're moving.
Now, I get this all the time because I walk very closely to people. I'm horrible about walking straight. I walk at an angle. So I'm really bad about.
No, I
do
know
exactly what it means. It means
exactly it. I gravitate toward anyone I'm walking
next to, she constantly walks into you.
Yeah, Kat does it too.
We're both walking and she's like, oh, and I'm like, oh, back up.
Just want to be near you.
Stop walking diagonally into me. It's also nothing is worse than walking through a fucking airport because she keeps hitting me with her luggage. And every time I'll be like, put your luggage on the other fucking side. Like now, like I've got my luggage on my left, you stand to my right, and then you have your luggage on your right. But she'll put her luggage at the same side as me and then diagonally walk into me. I'm like, stop hitting me with your bags.
You should just go with it.
Crazy.
Just like let it happen and see where Lindsay ends up. Like what direction?
No, you can't let it happen because then you end up in the wall
she hits
or off
me.
the
That's
sidewalk.
You can't cross the streams. Yeah. My point was, I also do that with inanimate objects too. So I'm horrible at judging like how close I need to be to a table or a doorway to me like actually make the turn. So constantly I'll like hit the side of my hip on things like that. And I always catch my fucking belt loop on the side of a door. I can't tell you how many times I've been walking through a door frame and I go like by my hip and I'm just hanging on the door frame.
A dead stop right in the middle of your body and everything else tries to keep going.
Yeah, I like fold in half.
This episode of Off Topic is brought to you by Honey. These days, it feels like shopping online is the only shopping that we really do. That's where today's sponsor, Honey, comes in. It's free browser. It's free browser extension. What is it? It's free. You just click it, boom, you get it. Scours the internet for promo codes and automatically tests them when you're checking out. Honey is basically your online shopping best friend. You don't got to do nothing but install it, and then it just goes. Here's how it works. In just a few clicks, you can get Honey on your computer for free. Then when you're checking out on one of its over 30,000 supported sites, Honey pops up and all you have to do is click apply coupons, wait for a few seconds while Honey searches, and if it finds working codes, Honey applies the best one to your cart. I was ordering some food the other day on Grubhub. Just got my food in there. Didn't have any coupons, didn't have any discount codes. Put the food in. Honey's on the extension. Honey pops up and says, hey, we're searching for some coupons. Like 5 seconds later, save me $7. I don't have to do anything. It just sits there. It's easy to use. It's free. There's no reason not to use it. Honey supports all kinds of retailers from tech and gaming sites to fashion brands to even food delivery. and has found its over 17 million members, over $2 billion in savings. That's $2 billion saved for free. It's simple. If you have a computer, Honey should be on it. It's free. It works with whatever browser you use. Whatever you're using, it works. You can get Honey for free today at joinhoney.com/offtopic. That's joinhoney.com/offtopic. So they know we sent you. Like you could just find Honey and use it, but if you go to joinhoney.com/offtopic, then they go, whoa, off topic. I like those guys. And then they send me like a little gift card and like, thanks. They don't, but they could. Hey, thanks, Honey.
We just recently in our kitchen like painted all the cabinets and changed all the hardware in it, but like the old ones we had these little like loop designs on the actual handles, and they were coming off the side of the handles, and for me they were exactly pocket height, like jean pocket height. So if I got too close to the drawers, like walking next to the counter or anything, it would hook into my pocket, and then as I walked away, would open the drawer and then stop me. And it constantly, like I finally got rid of them and changed them out, but it happened all the time.
That's such a funny visual.
Annoying.
Did you yell at your drawers too? Are you the kind of person who yells at inanimate objects? Or am I the only crazy one here?
No, I yell at like animals that know, like, you know, I yell at them and squirrels and shit. But
objects can't hear you or feel emotion.
Yeah, like objects I don't yell at. I just yell, you know.
Yeah, I just like yell to the heavens. I just go, come on! Like if something happens, I'm just want someone to know I'm upset.
It just reminds me so much of when you showed me you hitting your head, Jeremy, on the was like the door like moved while you were in the pantry.
Yeah, I was in the pantry, and Booker like kind of brushed against the door, like rubbed his head against it because it's where his food is, so it closed the door just enough that when I stood up again, I hit the spice rack on the inside of the door, like the little thing that's on there, and wailed my head off of it.
Oh god.
Oof.
That looked brutal. It was very funny.
That
though.
one hurt. That one hurt a lot.
Now,
yeah.
do y'all have like a feeling or sensation kind of like that you absolutely despise? Because for me, the worst feeling in the world is a loose hair that I know is like hanging out like under my shirt or somewhere, and I can't find it. So I just feel it like tickling me. Maybe that's like a longer haired person thing. But
I mean, that's not a thing I have. Yeah, say that.
It's awful. And because I hate it so much now too, if I get emotionally annoyed, like I'm just aggravated, I start to feel that. It's like a phantom hair that I can't find.
Your mind just produces a hair.
Whoa.
It doesn't
Yes,
exist.
it does.
It's growing. She grows it out whenever she gets mad.
I get really annoyed by my keys a lot, especially if I'm wearing loose shorts or like something that you would exercise in, and I sit down and the material's not thick enough to prevent me like getting slightly impaled by a key, or if my wallet is like bouncing against my leg when I'm trying to walk, it's like you just want to throw it all out of your pockets. I just hate having shit in my pockets.
Have you stabbed your
Yeah.
sack accidentally?
Oh,
Stab my sack?
Yeah, I've
Sell-
heard that happen
oh.
with some dudes.
your
Uh,
nutsack.
No, I'm sort of a back pocket kind of Kia guy.
How do you
so
put your
it
keys in your
stabs my
back
ass.
pocket? That's crazy.
Because
I mean, you could, but
with my phone,
Well, yeah,
it goes
that's why you get
clackety
stabbed
clack.
in the ass.
It like I don't want to scratch up all my screen with my phone in my pocket, and the other pocket's got a wallet in it. I guess a lot
no,
of people
don't get all
you
choked up
can-
about it.
Yeah, it's fine. You don't have to cry.
Wallet.
But you can.
my wallet.
you can-
my wallet.
I don't. You either go wallet phone together, or you do.
That's too thick. That's too much
or you do
thickness
wallet keys
That is.
together.
It's a lot. Yeah.
That's what I do. I do wallet keys in one pocket and then phone in the other pocket.
Here's why I
It's true.
diversify the shorts. Wallet keys just pushes the keys either through the front and like cuts a hole, or it pushes it back into my leg. Have to have the keys separate. The keys have
Okay.
to be on their own. But
See,
wallet
but what
phone,
if-
too thick?
But what if you put wallet first, then keys? The wallet is protecting you from the keys.
They wiggle around in there, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
They
right.
move about.
And to
See,
be
I
fair,
guess-
Michael, I've seen your
Maybe
pocket.
wiggling.
It looks like you're hiding a brick.
Well, a lot of the time,
your
you know,
Oh, it looks
jeans-
stupid. I don't give a
It's
shit.
like-
It's like,
Yeah. Yeah, it
Yeah.
looks terrible. Like in photos, there's just like a big like bulge in
Yeah.
your pants, and
Stop
not where
looking
you
at my
want it.
brick.
Yeah.
Get your eyes off my brick.
Hey, why you looking? You looking at my pocket or my eyes?
Thing, like Lindsay talking about the ghost hair, a thing is happening to me a lot is I feel like I have an ability to dissolve leather. Michael knows
sweat?
this because like when I guess it's the sweat, but when you see Michael when I'm at work or when we were in the office, the headphones are constantly dissolving.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
And every time I take my headphones off, there's black stuff all over my head from the dissolving headphones.
I'd be on
Well,
black
it's-
stuff check. I'd be like, Jeremy, you got some fuzz. You
Yeah,
got black fuzz
Leather,
on your
right?
head.
It's not obviously real leather.
No, it's not. But
Asking
like,
yeah, but it
because
only
I have something
happens
to
to
compare
him.
it with.
yeah, like
One
this has
moment.
no leather or like fake. This is all just like the fabric right here. You can see it's all gone. Like from where my arm goes.
Whoa.
That's all gone.
Yeah,
it's
mine
all gone
are-
down here.
Mine
Yeah,
are
it
in
must
tip-top
be.
shape.
That must be sweat.
I guess it's sweat. I got like acidic sweat
You
and
got
like, so
what Gus has with metal.
yeah. So
Yeah.
this stuff comes off constantly, and like it's always stuck to me, and I like. I got bits all over me, and it's always stuck to me. And I told Kat the other night, I must have been sitting on this chair at night, like just kind of in my boxers or something. But I went to go to bed, and before I went to bed, I went into the bathroom, and you know, when I was going to the bathroom, I looked down there, and it looked like I had leather encased testicles because I guess a piece had come off and perfectly adhered. And I was like,
It's amazing.
I had a moment where I went, "What the hell is that?" Like I was like freaked out. Like it was like perfectly like wrapped.
A
And I
literal
was-
coin purse.
So
I
you
was
weren't
just
just
like-
wearing boxers. You were wearing boxers that your testicles were like leaking out of. onto the
Correct.
chair.
Correct. Yeah. Absolutely.
crazy.
And I was just like, it blew me away.
That
I
would-
didn't know what was wrong at first. I was like, what's happening to me? And then like it could come off. But it's just I just all the time now, I think I have little bits of the fake leather stuck to me. Like and they're everywhere. They're all over my ass. Every time I
Man.
get up, like
I don't get them on
That
my
sounds
ass, but I get the
terrible.
same thing, Jeremy. So I have this like pleather jacket, and
My
you can
jacket's
literally
like
see
that.
like
Yeah.
like this is happening from my sweat too. I get the same thing. So I'll be walking around during the day, and I get like the like neck crust, I guess. Yeah,
you know, my
it
jackets
sucks.
look just like that too. They got the neck's all like shredded.
I wonder if we could do a
Whoa.
contest where we just make 2 hammocks out of that material, and on a hot day, you, Jeremy, and Lindsay just lie in them and see who melts through first.
I
Who
win.
hits the-
Who hits
I'm
the
a
ground?
sweaty boy.
Oh, Jeremy, you haven't seen me sweat, dude. I sweat a lot.
He probably
I
has
know.
seen you
Yeah.
sweat, I will say. It's probably
I know.
happened.
Have you seen me at peak sweat?
Peak sweat? No, I would assume that's at the gym. And
Yeah.
you and I have not gone to the gym together. I don't go to the gym
should.
with other people. I'm like, get away.
Oh
from
yeah,
me.
no.
Yeah, I agree.
That's
Leave me alone.
I feel you. Hmm
Yeah.
That's a long
Jack,
time.
Jack was a big advocate of that. Like he liked going to the gym with Adam. He went with Adam Ellis a lot, and like he liked it because it made him go. Like because he could tell himself if he was going alone, I don't want to go today. I'm not going. But if Adam was waiting for him, and then to Adam, Jack is waiting for him, so the two of them, they'd be like forced to go, basically.
Yeah, I
You
can
know
No
see
who-
that.
obligation.
Okay.
Um,
That
I
makes
like,
sense.
I like that you can see that though, but that would I was just gonna say that you know who that would never work on? Gavin.
Why not?
Yeah.
It's just because you're just the kind of
Sod
person
it.
that wouldn't stop you. Where it's like, oh, we're gonna go to the gym today, and you're like, nah, I don't want to. Like, oh, but like, if you go, I go, and you'd be like, eh.
Sounds like you're not going. Yeah.
I just like that's Jack is such a person where like he's like, we made plans, we're gonna do it. Oh, I'm gonna go to the gym. I got my buddy, and you're just like, I don't know. I feel like you're just the opposite. If you
Well,
like,
maybe,
you would go because you want to go, not because there's another person going. You're like, oh, I have to go because this guy's going. You'd be like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I feel like
Well-
it'd be more of like something's come up, not more of like a I can't be bothered.
I'm
feel
just
like-
saying, I don't think it'd be so much as like I'm just gonna flake out, but the idea that like in the back of my head, I don't want to disappoint this other person. That would not enter your thought
Oh, okay.
process. You would, if for some reason you couldn't go, you just wouldn't. There wouldn't be a like, I can't let my gym buddy down. You'd go, oh.
I'd probably start to feel the guilt if I was about to do it twice in a row. I'd probably be like,
Mm.
this is unacceptable.
I
Probably
think
wouldn't feel bad
I
about
think-
ditching once or twice,
I feel like-
sporadically though.
I feel like if you did it twice in a row, you go, this is unacceptable. We shouldn't do this anymore.
Yeah, that's probably where I would go. Yeah, I'd be like, this isn't working out. Like week 2 of 2, I'd be like, this clearly hasn't worked.
Unacceptable.
I love the sound
I
of this
feel like-
breakup. Gavin's like, I'm no good for you.
Right.
Listen.
Yeah, you need to find
It's
for
not you.
need to
You
find
can do
a
better.
partner.
I'm just letting you down. You know, we should end this immediately. But I feel like it would enter my list of priorities way too low to begin with, for that to work.
You don't seem like a gym person to me either. Like, I know you
No,
like to
really?
walk and you go outdoors. Yeah, okay. Oh, you just don't seem like the kind of person who would ever like literally go to a gym regardless of like the intensity of the workout. Like, you just don't like, I don't think you like gyms.
No, I think what's happened is that when people describe like they get some sort of like chemical goodness in their brain from working out, I've never had that. So I've never had any enjoyment from exercise in my life. And I feel
that's
like
the
I need to
best.
push through whatever, you know, whatever I've done so far until I get that, and then I'd be into it. But yeah, so far it just sucks.
It
Like,
doesn't happen.
How do you get past it? It
There
doesn't
is no
happen.
past it. No.
I've
It's-
never had. I'm somewhere in
I
the
talked
middle.
to like Blaine and stuff, and he's like, "Yeah, you know,
Well,
it's like,
that's
yeah,
the wrong
That's
guy.
not fair.
That's the wrong guy. But also Blaine has to say that because, like, can you imagine if he came to the conclusion that he didn't like it? What would he do? You know what I mean? Like,
What's it all been for?
he's strict himself already. He's like, no, I like this. I like this. I'm somewhere in the middle on that. It's not. I don't like working out per se, but I will at least when I leave. Like working out, usually weightlifting for me. I do like light cardio in between, but mostly it's just weightlifting. When I leave, especially because I do it in the morning, I'm like, wow, like even if I was tired, like now I'm not tired anymore. I woke up, my muscles are stretched. I feel pretty good for the day. I don't enjoy like while I'm there, walking out is like I'm done, and now I feel like I've mentally accomplished something where like now when I know I'm gonna be a lazy sack of shit and not move for the next 9 hours, at least I've already exercised, so I don't have to feel bad about it. What I can't wrap my head around is, and I don't do it, is running, because like weightlifting to me, you get tired, but then once you stop, you're not tired anymore. You just get sore like a day or two later. But running, like when you're running, I want to fucking die, right? Like weightlifting is like, ooh, this is too heavy. I have to put it down. And then I breathe for 20 seconds and I'm fine. Running is agonizing to me. And there's people out there that are like, you got to hit the runner's high and then you'll love it.
I've never had a
The
runner's high
Yeah,
in my
I hear
life.
about it a lot, and I feel like I'm honestly pretty lucky when it comes to running. Like I can run for quite a long time before I have to stop. I can run for hours, but well, not like not like a marathon, but I could easily run for 2 hours. But it is miserable for an hour and 50 minutes. Like after I've just like got slightly tired, it's like I hate every single second of this. When is this runner's high gonna kick in? It never did, and now I'm just like sweaty and unhappy after 2 hours.
Sweaty and unhappy. The only thing that keeps me going when I'm running, because like honestly, the best feeling I get working out is on cardio days when I'm done. When I'm done and say to myself, hey, I got a day where I'm lifting weights now before I need to do another cardio day. Like I'm as far from another cardio day as possible the second I step off that treadmill.
It's like Michael with Rage Quit.
I love that. It's my best. It's the best feeling. The thing that makes me run longer on the treadmill is not a runner's high, but it's you've got the 3 different metrics. You've got distance, you've got time, and you've got calories burned. And I see all of those on my treadmill. And at any given point, one of them is close to the next like milestone. You know, so I'm always like, listen, I could stop running now. You know, I've hit 20 minutes. I could stop my run right now. But if I keep going, you know, I'm gonna cross over like whatever the 2.5 mile mark or something. Like, let me just get to that point. And I'm like, but those calories are creeping up toward like 400 or like, let's go for that. And then I go for that. And then I'm like, but now I could go for 30 minutes. And then so I just keep incrementally like going with those.
It's all mind games, isn't it? It's all denial.
Mhm.
It's all like tricking your brain.
It's denial.
Lindblad's
do it
doing
this
a
way,
really
but I
good
have
job cutting
friends-
away. My camera died.
Oh, good.
did it?
Oh, nice.
Okay, Michael.
Yeah. Nah, I'm struggling to
rocked it.
fix it, but you
I was
keep
just
going.
gonna say I have friends who do like the 1 more minute as they're on the treadmill. They'll be like, okay, I'm going for 15 minutes. They hit 15. They go, okay, if I made it to 15, I can do 1 more minute. Okay,
Yeah.
16. Okay, 1 more minute, and then by the time they finish, it's like 30 minutes later. For me, I can't do that. I have to try and like distract myself with anything at the gym. I'll start like looking outside at people walking by or like reading license plates, you know, back when we actually like went outside. But I just can't stand cardio and my body is not built for it at all. I'm totally a ground character. I'm not Ariel. I'm like I'm a sturdy girl. If you need something moved or destroyed, I can do that. If you need me to run somewhere, no.
Or
I can't do it.
destroyed.
Lindsay, I just hit install because I was waiting for it to finally drop, and it did just drop the new Borderlands 3 DLC. Krieg is back. I love Krieg. I'm so excited.
I still gotta finish 2. I dropped off on that.
What happened? Oh, that did bad.
I think it's just us.
I thought that was
That's incredible.
Oh, is that you've killed your internet? Is that what you've done?
Apparently, never mind. I'm not gonna hit it now. Never mind. I've stopped
that's
it.
amazing.
Oh, I thought that was. I didn't even realize.
Yeah, because you're all
amazing.
squiggly looking. It looks terrible.
You have like a
great.
mush button.
That's
Why?
great.
Yeah, we're having
I
camera
didn't think
problems
it would
here.
do that.
See,
Never
I
mind.
decided to use my fancy camera.
It stopped. It'll come back.
I'm using like my fancy, Matt got his upgrade and everyone's like, wow, Matt's camera. Mine's been sitting in my garage and I used it yesterday. So I went, I'll just use it. Fucking overheated.
Well, are you
Just-
recording?
no.
You're not meant to press record.
No, this
No, I'm
bad boy?
not. No,
Oh.
I'm not recording.
This thing, Michael? Sony, whatever?
I don't know if it's the exact same kind, but yes.
Jeremy, you look
It
great.
overheated just by being on?
Yeah.
Yes.
What a piece of
Yup.
shit.
Yeah, and so you have to open this screen. That
Oh.
helps it stay a little bit cooler.
Hang on, let me open it.
Yeah, you do that. That
I
helps it
never
stay a
had
little
that
bit cooler.
Jeremy, thank you for telling me about the DLC. Is really what we're
Oh,
getting.
I can't.
here.
It's only 5.5 gigs, but yeah,
Oh,
hell yeah.
Well, see,
Jeremy,
I finished the
let her
storyline
I
of
opened
3,
her up.
and then I went back to do storyline of 2. So I might finish that first and then do 3 DLC.
You're not going to do any of
because I
that.
never finished
So,
it.
Level cap
or I'll
increase
just do
for
nothing.
3. Hell yeah.
This episode of Off Topic is brought to you by The Boys Season 2, our favorite underdog anti-heroes. The Boys are back to continue their battle against the 7, and the stakes are even higher. Still licking their wounds from last season's losses, and now on the run. They're hiding out. They got into some bad stuff. The team is going to need more than just thoughts of revenge if they hope to stand a chance against the world's most powerful superheroes. They call them Soups in the show. That's like their nickname for them. They must expose Compound V and the way that Vought and the 7 manipulate the public to stay in power, all while grappling with their own vulnerabilities along the way. I love The Boys. I watched it like the day it came out on Amazon. I didn't even know what it was. I just saw it. I'm like, oh, this looks interesting. It sucked me in. I watched the whole thing. Season 2 just dropped. 3 episodes, though. They dropped 3 episodes. I like took me a couple days. Like, oh, I gotta watch it. I put it on, burned through all 3 right in a row. It's so good. I love that show. New ones come out every Friday, I think. Every Friday. So for me, today, Thursday, tomorrow, episode 4. Oh, I'm gonna watch it. To find out, continuing, the plot. Oh, no, I skipped a part. Hang on. Go back. Like, just pretend I didn't start reading the next one. The season promises deeper dives into the characters, their motivations, and a chance to see the humanity behind the Soups. Will the Boys be able to take down a corrupt establishment and change the status quo? Or will they be crushed by the ultimate power of Vought and the 7? To find out, go to amazon.com/theboys to watch The Boys Season 2 out now. Also, keep an eye out for a special episode of Death Battle featuring The Boys. It's going to be absolutely diabolical. Death Battle's our show. And I guess they're going to put them in there. Dude, if you like people getting blown up, but get liquefied, they're flying around, they're zapping people, they're squishing things. It's nuts. I love it. Go watch it. Watch The Boys. I endorse it. I approve of this message and this ad read.
I haven't played Borderlands in such a long time. I just recently played through. I wanted to play more old games for the fuck of it, which
I
is
saw
great
this.
because next week they're releasing that Mario trilogy.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Switch.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And that's great because I've never played any of those games. So I'm gonna get to play all of them for the first time. I assume 64 will piss me off. I just looking at it, I know it will.
It's actually
might,
not
a
too
little-
bad.
It's not bad as an adult.
The camera's
I
a
mean-
bit, winging all over the
Dodgy?
place because it was like,
Mhm.
it was pioneering 3D platforming. But I think it holds up surprisingly well.
So I'm looking forward to playing that. I'm super looking forward to playing Sunshine. That always looks like so much fun.
I love Sunshine back in the day, so I'll probably
And,
play that again.
And then Galaxy as well. I'm pumped about. But I've been trying to play more old games just for the fuck of it, like just to remember them. And I played through Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone for the PS1.
Wow. Yeah.
Everyone in
I had
that
that on
game,
GameCube.
yeah, everyone in that game they're monstrosities.
Yeah, it looked like dog shit.
It's insane.
And
they took
the height
photos
was
and
off.
just like pasted it on their
Oh,
face.
wow,
The height was off. The chair was
Yeah.
like up to your neck.
I saw you playing
Like-
it, and I was like, he looks squished. It looks like he got hit with an anvil or something.
Nope, you're just tiny for no reason.
Weird.
It's awesome.
And constantly I'd be like, Kat, do you remember this part from the book? You were like jumping over lava, like down like platforming sections across like a lake of lava. I was like, remember this part? Remember we had to go get this for Hagrid?
Yeah, it's when they're in the Cave of Wonders and Abu touches the ruby.
Yeah,
He's not supposed to do
exactly.
that.
I didn't even realize there were more than the Sorcerer's Stone. That's all I had as a kid.
Yeah.
So they made the other books, so I want to play.
Thinking about
those
it
now.
too, I had
Whoa.
Chamber of
Oh,
Secrets.
look at that!
Oh, you-
Focus, look at that quick
you-
focus.
And they never really decided what the hell the game was. Like every time they my camera's all over the place. This is why I don't try to use nice things. Every time a new Harry Potter came out, it was like a different type of game, right? Like that one's kind of a platformer.
It's like a platformer, sort of. Yeah.
Like you run around the school and shit. By the time they got to, I don't know if it was Half-Blood Prince or it might have been Deathly Hollows. I don't know if they did one game or two games for that. It was like a fucking third-person shooter, like an over-the-person shooter, or over-the-shoulder, like Resident Evil 4.
Over the person, technically not wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I think Chamber of Secrets was like adventure /
I'm looking at it now. It looks. I definitely didn't play it because none of it looks familiar. And yeah, it looks more like action
Talking to
oriented.
Gavin's cat.
Booker, don't move.
No, that's beer.
Good boy. Good boy.
Come back. Yeah. Come back.
Well
Booker.
done.
On camera.
Man, I don't have any drinks.
You don't have anything?
I had some scrapings. I usually just deal with scrapings, but we went to visited Lindsay's parents over the weekend, and I went, I'll just bring whatever I have. And then they had a lot there, and I went, I don't feel like packing this up again. So I just left it all there. Had some sides, a couple of sides, not pineapple. I wouldn't have left pineapple behind. And I
You got
did
some
leave.
Claw.
I did leave one bottle of sake. I drank all the drinks that they had. Yeah, they had Claw. There's like 50 kinds of those seltzer drinks now.
Oh yeah.
And they're all not bad.
Bud Light has one.
Yeah.
It's like Bud Light seltzer. Like they have their own brand. That's the thing. You gotta have a seltzer.
I keep
Why
hearing
don't
one-
we have one?
I don't know. Why don't
You
we
don't
have
have seltzer?
Yeah.
one?
Why don't we have any alcohol? Period.
It's probably a
I don't-
licensing
Licensing, I
nightmare.
would assume.
I don't know
Yeah,
how
but
to
we can
make it.
figure it out.
Yeah, we could figure
Yeah.
it out. I mean,
Yeah.
Just get
Like it's-
legal on it.
Achievement Hunter barrel whiskey or it's just
Well, yeah, we should
hard.
make booze, but only sell it by the industrial barrel.
the keg.
Like you would
You can-
use it in a pub, but you can't, easily pour it or anything.
you get
Walk
like
into your local bar and see if they have Achievement Hunter on tap.
you get the barrel and you have to open it with a mallet.
Yeah, tap it.
Yeah,
I've
I've
been meaning to buy a kegerator too. I want to.
speaking of old games, I'm still chugging through New Vegas. I'm
I
trying to
see.
decide.
dude.
I'm trying to decide whether I like it more than Fallout 3 or not, and I can't. I'm going back and forth. I think it's really
It
good.
is a back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are some
fantastic.
things I like more about it, I think. Like I think I like the map more. Like I like the Mojave Wasteland more
Mhm.
than I always used to get stuck in like downtown DC, like with all the metro shit, and like your waypoint would be like 6 feet away. You had
Yes,
to go
I
through like
forgot about
19 tunnels, and I hate that area to the point where it's like, oh, I would just like put off quests that were over there, and I like that the Mojave is like, you just go wherever you want, it's just like wherever you want at all times. But I like the variance in the encounters more in Fallout 3. Like I feel like in New Vegas, you know exactly what enemies you're gonna find in each specific place. It's like, oh, there's ants down there in that sandy bit. In this construction area, there's going to be like 19 death claws. But in Fallout 3, you never really knew what you were going to come across. It felt a lot more random. I'm not sure if that's true. That's what I remember. I feel like the perfect Fallout game would be a combination of both of those games.
Yeah, I think you're totally right. In New Vegas, they really laid more into the faction aspect of it, of like, you want to be friendly. Like, if you're friendly with this faction, this other faction's not going to like you very much. Like in 3, there was the Brotherhood and the Enclave, and you could kind of pick either of those, and they clashed. Like, but you didn't really pick one until the Broken Steel DLC. Before that, it was just like, you go with the Brotherhood or you don't finish the game. Broken Steel, you could actually do some stuff, but like in New Vegas, there's so many factions that you can go with and mess with. There's a bunch of different endings that you can get, and they definitely evolved the world of Fallout New Vegas more than they did with 3.
I feel like
but I kind of agree with you.
I feel like in 3, isn't there a bunch of like mountains and shit you can't get over? Or maybe it's just like cities.
There's some of that in New Vegas too. There's like hills that there's invisible walls on.
I fucking hate that shit. Well, not just invisible walls, but like I think it might have been 3 we were talking about, where there's a part where you have to go underground to like get to the other side.
Yeah.
And that was, I had to like look up a guide because there was like a waypoint on the other side, and up top I'm like, how the fuck do I get over here? Like I hate games that give waypoints and it'll send you through an impossible path, where it's like, well, you're sending me north and I can't go north. So it's kind of useless. It's just where I need to end up. It doesn't help me get there.
3 is pretty much all of downtown DC is caged in. Like, it's basically surrounded by a wall. So if you want to get into the city, you have to either go through a metro station, or like you can hook all the way around to the ocean on the bottom right and like swim in. But I don't think it was there at launch, and I think it got added later, that like if you have a mission in the city, it will now put the subway points of like, you're going to need to go here and then here and then here.
Yeah, it does,
but
like a dotted line, I think, with like a bunch of waypoints.
But if you do a custom waypoint, I don't think it does that still. It's like you put a custom waypoint, it's like, all right, that's where you're going once you're inside, but good luck finding how to get inside,
I've been playing a lot of Fallout 4, and thankfully I haven't. I'm finally super into it. I'm like 50 hours or something. I don't know.
Has the Pridwin shown up?
The Pridwin.
I don't think so.
Oh.
Ooh.
Or it did, and I didn't notice. I'm doing a lot of side shit. I don't know if that is a side thing or a main mission, but I'm kind of just trying to play however I want. The only thing I'm keeping track of is I'm trying, like, I haven't even looked at the achievement list, but I know I want to get all the achievements. So I have one page up that's like, this is the order you should do the faction missions. So you have to replay the least amount possible, where it's like, because if you get to like the end of one faction, it either ends the game or it like, X's you off from the other faction. Like, now this faction fucking hates you, so you can't do that quest.
Yeah.
So there's the Minutemen, there's the Brotherhood of Steel, the
Railroad,
and the Institute, I think is the 4. So that's really the only guideline I'm kind of using, where this one guide's like, okay, just to get them all, do main quests up to this, then do all these factions, then get to this faction point, save it, finish all the faction quests, you'll get the achievements, end that game, then you can reload back to that last save and just go with another faction. Other than that, I'm just playing the game. And it's really fun, but I have all the DLCs. I haven't started any of the like locations, because I think most of the DLCs, like, you leave and go to a different map.
Yeah,
Yes.
they'll take you to a different area.
But I texted Gavin about this the other day, where I was like, what the fuck is this? I was doing Vault 88, which is where there's that like ghoul overseer, and she's like running a bunch of experiments on people and shit. So you got to like build shit. And I happened to be thumbing through the build catalog, and I found this thing. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called like a decontamination arch. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And all it is, it's like a big arch that's just like a spritzer, and you walk through it and it just takes away all your radiation.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm 45 hours into the game and I just found out about this? And it costs like nothing to make. It's like,
you're yelling at me for not telling you about it.
Yeah, I was like, why? I called you an SOB. I was like, why didn't you tell me about this? Because the last time I was talking to you about Fallout, I was just bitching about radiation, and you were like, that's the game, whatever.
Because you didn't
and I was
like
like,
that
I hate it. I hate it.
Caps your health. Like it
It
displays
pisses me
differently.
off.
Yeah.
It pisses me off because you get a little red. The red bar overtakes your health,
It
and that's
eats your
like
health bar.
it's like a organization thing that pisses me off. I don't like it. I don't like. It's like having a text alert that you can't get rid of. I fucking hate it. So I was telling Gavin,
if you stream that game, you would hate it because I think I had like 1.5 inches of red in my health bar for the entire.
Oh, it drive me nuts. I was telling Gavin,
awesome.
like, he's like, oh, we use like a Radaway or whatever. I'm like, yeah, but what if I only have 10 rads? And he's like, well, it's not that big a deal. And I'm like, yeah, but look at it. I hate it. I hate it. Shouldn't be there. I hate it.
Have you done a lot of glowing sea shit? Have you been in the glowing sea a lot or no?
Is that just the water or?
No, the glowing sea is
No.
the whole bottom left area. It's all radiated.
It's a cool area.
No.
It's really cool. It's fucking creepy, and you're gonna get irradiated as fuck.
Well, now I have a spritzer, so it's fine.
Now you got a
pretty
spritzer.
smart.
Now you
Pop
just
back
walk home. You get
I walk
spritzed.
right through it. I walk across the street. I sleep in my bed. I'm full health. I'm
Or just
good to go.
build a road of
Gavin,
spritzers all the way.
You'd have no fucking idea how pissed off I'd be. It's like, okay, I cleared all my radiation, fucking rested in a bed, whatever. I warp to the town I want to go to. I'm walking, it starts raining. I'm like, no, shit.
Yeah, you get a
like,
little.
You get a little radiation from the rain. I'm like,
Little
come
acid
on.
rain, yeah.
So do you like not eat any food in the game? Like if you
No,
eat
I
a
never,
carrot
no,
or
I don't eat. I have like 200 stim packs. I don't ever
okay,
eat
yeah.
anything.
That's a good point. Yeah, you don't need that.
I don't need any food. I collect everything and I use 10% of it. But
Yeah.
at
He does
least
that with every game.
Yes.
Every single.
No, you're right. But at least in this game, a majority of the junk is used because you just dump it in the workshop and that's how you build everything. So there's actually
Very
a
true.
reason to it. What I do collect for no reason at all is like if a weapon has a star next to it, I'll just be like, ooh, that's special. And I save it. I'll never use it,
No.
but I
Yeah.
save it. I just
You're
go,
gonna
oh, I
be
put,
full up on those.
I
It's
put
like
it in
your
my
security
chest.
blanket.
Well,
Yeah.
Fallout is the kind of game that really separates out what kind of person you are. Like I'm
It's
sure
bad
you're a
for me,
person.
dude.
I'm sure you've got plenty of mini nukes. I'm the kind of person who finds one.
Oh, yeah.
I will use that immediately. I'll be like, hell yeah, I'll blow up like one dude, but this will be great. And I always have an empty fat man, pretty much at all
I
times.
have.
No,
Gavin,
no.
I've never used one yet.
That's what's in the game. Use the damn things.
Well, I
No.
might not need it yet.
Here's why. And Michael, I'm the same way as you on this because you always save those mini nukes because you go, maybe I'll really need them one day, and you
Yeah.
never use them,
And then you
so
beat
they're
the
all
game.
stacked up. So you got like 100 mini nukes, and then or you can walk around with the fat man and shoot people with it. It's like 45 pounds.
so
It
much.
weighs so much. You're like,
So
this
wait.
is all I got. This and a pistol, and you just like rolling it.
So wait,
and you
you
just
saying
kill yourself.
you're the kind of person who doesn't even carry it around on you?
No.
It's just in a drawer somewhere?
Yeah, it's
so
in my
it's in a
drawer.
box.
It's in my drawer with the other starred items.
No, I'll see like
star drawer,
I may
please.
My
hold
star drawer.
I'll hold a mini nuke for like 20 minutes probably. I'll be like, the next like pack of raiders I see that'll be like a big satisfying mushroom cloud. I'll be like, it's going in there. I'm not gonna wait for a boss fight. I can take it. You get to the point where you can one shot most of the game, right? The final boss fight, you're just gonna like, it might be a bit more stressful. There's more stuff going on, maybe more people in power armor. You'll annihilate them without a mini nuke. So, in my opinion, that thing's ripe for using on whatever you decide to find.
You know, and you could do whatever you want. That's
Yeah.
the game.
Now, are
There
you,
is-
I assume, not anal retentive about your inventory storage, Gavin?
Well, I mean, you kind of have to. You don't want to be over encumbered, but
No, but I
I mean,
mean, like,
I'll
you
be-
just throw it in there. You don't, like,
yeah,
make sure this
I'll
is
pick
in
shit
this
up.
column. Oh, okay.
There's not really sorting.
I guess, like, in
I
games
think
in
you
general.
can sort.
There's
I mean,
some.
anyone who's watched me play Minecraft or 7 Days, you'll notice that my inventory is constantly full and with 70% stuff that I don't need to be holding. But
Correct.
That's like me,
yeah, I'm the kind of person. I'm the kind of infuriating person who's like, oh, this thing I found is very important. Let me just drop this, which would be useful later. But I don't have any room, so I'm going to throw that down.
This episode of Off Topic is brought to you by AT&T 5G. AT&T presents RTX this year. Thanks to AT&T 5G, we're able to bring an awesome RTX straight to you from the comfort of your own home or maybe your friend's home, wherever you are. that's fine. It'll be there. You can watch it. It's in the computer or the phone or whatever you like to use. AT&T 5G's network is fast, reliable, secure, and now available nationwide. Whether you're at home or on the go, you'll enjoy coverage in more places. Plus, AT&T doesn't make it complicated. 5G access is included in all consumer unlimited plans at no extra cost. Join us for RTX at Home for virtual panels from your favorite shows and podcasts like this one, a whole bunch of exclusive merch shops, and more, all without putting on real pants. And all thanks to AT&T. For more information on AT&T 5G, visit att.com/5G.
I often, and Michael, I also want to point out to you, if you're still playing through Fallout 4 and you haven't found it, so there's the start items, which are like items that are slightly better, but there's still the named unique items, which are like what I love to find in the Fallout games. There is a submachine gun called the Spray and Pray in Fallout 4. You find that thing, you're good. You're good for the rest of the game. It's an explosive submachine gun.
Well, that wouldn't work with my build, Jeremy.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just telling you, it probably would. It works with like every build. But I'm the kind of guy that, for no reason at all, in games like Skyrim and Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 and stuff, I'll pick an item, and then anytime I see that item, I will make sure to pick it up, bring it to a certain area, like wherever my character lives in that game, and drop it on the floor. Like, not put it in a box or something, just drop it. So in like Fallout 3, I constantly was almost crashing the game because my hotel room in Tenpenny Tower was filled with Deathclaw hands to the point where it was like a mountain of them. And I started doing that in Skyrim with skulls. If I saw a skull or a troll skull, I'd pick them up and then walk into my house in Whiterun, go into my bedroom and toss it on the ground.
And with the frame rate just go to shit.
Yeah, and like, because you'd open the door into skulls. Like, the whole room was packed with them.
That's amazing.
And like, every now and again, like, Lydia would walk through the room and knock all the skulls everywhere, and like the game would freak out. That's my favorite.
The game would just decide that one skull is slightly through another, so they would just explode all around. Like, I feel like Skyrim and that does that a lot.
And I have a really good sword, and I'd be like, I have to drop this sword that I probably won't use because this troll skull weighs like 3 pounds, and it's gonna take up the rest of I'm gonna be over encumbered. And so I'd pick up the skull and drop the sword and be on my way.
Yeah, I mean, I go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I did the same thing with Skyrim, but it was worse. I would keep my inventory associated with whatever town I was currently in or what my like quest was. So I wouldn't even bother going back to my home. I would just drop it like in the street and be like, okay, commoners, this is your problem now. I'm gonna go take care of this over here and come back. And I would usually forget what that was for anyways. And I come back and go, what was I doing with this? Oh well. On to the next thing.
Yeah, I ruined Oblivion. Back then, I wasn't super into those kind of games, which I feel like I could actually go back and replay Oblivion now and really enjoy it. But back then, I was just doing it for the achievements, and it honestly felt like a day job, like the amount of time you have to put into that game. So I was just like duping stuff. I was like doing that exploit where you like, I don't remember the exact order, but you could like draw an arrow in your bow and then drop an item at the same time, and it would duplicate that item with how many arrows you had in your quiver. And it would just like, they would all fling out on the floor. And I found that this item that you get in an Oblivion Gate, it's like, I don't remember the name of it, it's like some sort of stone, but it had a particle effect on it. Like when it was physically out on the floor, it would like radiate this stuff. So I like duped that because it was valuable. And I drew back my bow. I had like over 100 arrows. And then suddenly the game just went like, and it was in Bruma. And I had like 90 or like 100 and something of this particular item all expanding out like this. I was like, uh-oh. So I tried to like grab them, but then they all hit the floor and I was on a slope. So they all started like rolling into downtown Bruma, like throughout the city. I was like, oh, and I couldn't pick them up because my frame rate was getting worse and worse. So I just quickly left. And then I just played more of the game. But whenever I got near Bruma, it would like slow down my game as if it was like trying to preload an area. And if I ever went through the gates, I would get like 1 frame every 5 seconds. And to this day, that save file, I still can't go anywhere near Bruma. Like if I loaded it up right now, it'd be the same situation. And I could watch like all those things still rolling away down that hill. They've been rolling for like 10 years at this point.
You should screw that up for a social clip.
Just wrecked.
Yeah,
I'll
revisit.
load it up later.
Do you think you could ever do like a rescue mission? Do you think you could wait it out and start picking them up? Or would that just Like, could you do
Oh,
it
I
over the
should-
course of hours and days, or do you think it's just not feasible?
Honestly, I don't think it would take. I think I could do it in like 20 minutes, but just at the time, I was just like, "Oh, this is gonna take me forever." And now it's been 10 years.
Make a video.
When did Oblivion even come out?
Call it
Right.
like sweeping
Yeah,
up
longer
broom
than
or
10
something.
years. Yeah.
Yeah,
There
it may have been 15 years.
In sort of a similar vein, Gavin, in Fallout 3, there were certain areas that were like specific load and save zones, like for story purposes, that like if you walked into the zone, it would just automatically do like a quick save, and then it was like a very tight area because it was just like something's supposed to happen here at certain points. And I accidentally, like, I was just messing around with a fat man and a mini nuke, and I shot one into the air like as I walked into one of these zones, like made a save point where this mini nuke was in the air, which like glitched out the game kind of. So anytime I approached the area again, a mini nuke would fall from the sky.
Oh.
And like there was this like Black Plague area that it would reload it every time, even like because I guess the area that I was like walking into would like snap load this mini nuke into
It
the
absorbed
air.
it.
Yeah, and like it was like some weird glitch where it would like infinitely spawn these mini nukes every time I walked into the area. Like one would spawn and kill me because the area was so small. So there was like this little circle that I was like, I can't walk into that circle because I will explode. It was like this weird loading glitch of like I fired it and then saved it and then like died and it loaded, but it was still there. It was like really bizarre, but it was like this dead zone that I couldn't go near anymore.
Yeah, you can really wreck those games.
You can. Yeah, you can mess them up.
It's a game, and I said this to Gavin with Fallout 4, and I've had this with almost every Fallout. I've enjoyed every one, but there's just so much going on, and it's so open world, and I don't know, you just have so many options as it starts that it's just like overwhelming to me, and I can't like, I'm just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna play something. I'm just gonna play God of War and kill people or whatever. But once I hit that like 15-20 hour groove of like, okay, I'm level 15, I know what skills I want for the next 10 levels, I know what kind of character I'm gonna build, I know what missions I want to do, what factions I'm gonna join. It's just such a fun game that you really can play at whatever pace. You know, it's just like, I mean, it's kind of repetitive. You're just, you know, what, I'm going in this fucked up building. There's going to be a bunch of enemies running around. I'm going to look through the trash can and be like, ooh, a screwdriver. You know, Gavin, I've been, every single time I pick up a fan, I think of you going like, I never had enough screws. And I'm like, gotta get those screws.
Do you find yourself needing screws, or was that just me? I feel like I always needed screws.
No, I never do, but I feel like it's because you told me, you warned me. I looked
Man.
yesterday, and I have like, and because there's like 6 different kinds of fans, you know, they're all just like desk fans, but they're slightly different models. Just one of the models I have 45 of in my store.
You're gonna need them
box.
because you're gonna need those screws.
I'm gonna need them if I
He's
want to
right.
get the stupid get a large settlement to 100. I know that's an achievement. I can't remember what it's called, but that's apparently like a big pain in the ass achievement because you got to make a bunch of people happy. So you need to like build a bunch of stuff.
Worst.
Gavin,
That
I
one's a
loaded it
nightmare.
up. I loaded it up. By the way, I have 6 mini nukes. I've never fired one. I don't know. And I looked at that and went, oh, I only have 6, like pretty low.
But that's
I've
so
never,
fun.
I've
Yeah,
never
but you can
fi-
put
they
the
are
MIRV
fun.
attachment on the Fat Man too. It's just like a mod in Fallout 4. In Fallout 3, it was a unique weapon, but in 4, you can just put the MIRV mod on the Fat Man so it shoots like 6 at the same time. And like
Is it
that.
like lower the damage on each one, or is that
No.
it just fires that many?
Yeah, in
I feel
3,
you
unless
can't
you shot
throw
it
'em as
up, you
far,
die.
though, right?
I don't think they go as far, but because the thing is, it spreads like a shotgun. At least in 3, it fired like a shotgun, which meant almost assuredly every time you fired it, one would just go down
Yeah.
and kill you instantly. So like that, the MIRV was so impractical. It never had a use. It was the only use was to fire it upward or from like the top of 10 Penny Tower, and just watch the explosions and be like, ooh, that's pretty. Okay, reload, get those mini nukes back. That's pretty much it.
Gavin did it, but he didn't reload.
Yeah.
That's just how he
Didn't
played.
He was like, I got
I'm
that
going
mole
that
rat.
way.
Yes, I did.
Just curious, because I played through Skyrim. I'm pretty sure I beat it, but it was a long time ago. Either way, I was close to it. But could you guys tell me like the plot of Skyrim?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Quickly.
you're Dragonborn.
Okay, but like obviously, okay, a little bit more
And you
fleshed out than that.
Dragonborn.
You got to kill
Uh,
Mario.
There you
Alduin,
go.
the eater of worlds or
Yep.
whatever, is resurrecting dragons.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Then you learn shit from people on a cliff, and
Yep.
then Mario tells
Correct.
you need a shout that drops dragons to the ground.
Yep.
Then you go back in time with the Elder Scroll to listen to what the shout was. Then you go to the afterlife for a little bit and kill Alduin there. Is that the plot?
Yeah,
Um,
that's about what I got, and apparently that's not
yeah.
enough. Like,
It is
Is,
sort of the afterlife. Yeah, it's like the time period, like the dimensional time period in which Alduin lives. Yeah, you like go through a portal into there because that's the only way you can kill him is by killing him in there. Otherwise, he's immortal.
I was
See,
looking at
I
recent
forgot.
discussions about the plot. Yeah, and I was like, I don't remember like so much of what people are talking about right now online. Did I play the game? Like,
Well, all I remembered was Mario was the bad dragon, and I was wrong.
What?
Parthenax?
Parthenak's a good
Yeah.
dragon.
I know, it's what I said. I was like, oh, you kill Mario. And then you're like, well, you talked to Mario and was like, oh, he's not the bad guy.
Well,
Yeah,
you can
but
kill
that's-
him. That's an option.
Yeah, but I
can.
just meant
Yeah, why would
I
you?
thought he was the bad guy. I forgot. I'm just pointing out. I tried
I
to
also-
simplify it as much as possible, and I was wrong.
I also skipped a ton. Like you don't just pull an Elder Scroll out of your ass. Like that's a whole big part of the game
whatever.
where you have to
Yeah,
go down
but-
into the
that's the
Dwemer
issue.
ruins.
Abracadabra.
Right, that's the goal.
Fusroda.
And then you didn't even talk about being vampire or whatever.
Well, that's the DLC.
That's
the Dawnguard DLC. Yeah, the
Yeah.
vampire werewolf like feud.
Yeah, yeah, you can be both, right? Or do you have to switch? You can't be both at the same time.
You can't be a werewolf and like a vampire lord. I think you can be like that. Like the vampire lord is when you literally transform into like a vampire thing. You can just have vampirism.
Yeah.
It's
Right,
just like a.
that's-
It's
nobody
like a
wants
cold.
that.
You can get like a cold basically.
Is there any
Yeah,
nerd
vampire.
lore where you can be half vampire, half werewolf?
Of course, there is.
I'm sure.
Where?
yeah.
That's you've
Then
just
why am I not reading
described Underworld.
Oh yeah, no.
That's
you're
the whole
right.
point of the
Yeah.
17
I
film
forgot.
series.
half vampire, half werewolf.
And then type Underworld.
Mixture. Great. Werewolf vampire hybrids are the mixture of a vampire and a werewolf.
Exactly.
What?
Also, I think they might even fuck with that in. That might be in Vampire Diaries. I don't remember.
And why are
Skyrim
vampires and
is
werewolves always
fun.
hating each other? Why?
Because they're two superpower things.
I guess so.
And
Sorry,
then
Gavin,
ghosts
interrupted
show
you.
up and they get pissed, and then necromancers. People don't like them either because they're always bringing dead shit back to life.
Yeah.
I feel
That
like
was
in all
bad.
those games, I always go more towards the good side, the good karma, the
Oh, that's another thing. That's it.
paragons.
That I didn't realize a good 20 hours into Fallout 4. I went, oh, there's no good or bad in this game.
No.
Is there in Vegas? I know there is in 3.
Yeah, in Vegas, you've got the karma, and you've also got like the infamy system working at the same time. I
Did
feel
you
like
just call me?
what did I call you? What?
I don't know what that system is. I don't know what that is.
Infamy. In the infamy system. Yeah.
Like the
okay.
fame, like
Gotcha,
fame within
gotcha,
factions and
gotcha.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Fallout 4,
Right.
Fallout 4 kind of took out a lot of good stuff, unfortunately, but I feel like Fallout 4 is still a very satisfying and meaty game to play. Like I was talking about the Pridwin, the airship. I used to love wearing power armor, fast traveling to that thing, and then just jumping off, and then you just like slam into the ground like a superhero. Like
Whoa.
I would start in that area a lot just so I could do that. It was like super satisfying for some reason. And a lot of there was like more, I feel like there were more cutscenes in Fallout 4. Like shit would show up and then the environment would be different. Which you don't really get a lot of in New Vegas.
I think it definitely has to do with the similarities between like 3 or New Vegas and like what your expectations are, because that was the other thing too. Fallout 4 came out. I was super excited about it. I'd played, all the like Bethesda games since Oblivion, like, switching back and forth from Oblivion to Fallout. And then I just like there was enough different having like recently, even within a few years, recently playing Oblivion or I should Fallout 3 or New Vegas and being like, oh, they took this out, or oh, this is different. It doesn't have this. And so that was Fallout 4 is 3 years old. I think it came out in 2017. It's been,
I think it's older than that, isn't it?
I think it's 2017. It's 2016 at the oldest. But like it's been so long since not only I played 4, but the games before that, I couldn't fucking tell you what the difference is between it. And I'm enjoying it so much more. You know, like I said, I got 20 hours into the game before I realized there wasn't karma. I'm sure I would have noticed that 2 seconds into it after playing, you know, Vegas or Fallout 3. And so in a way, it's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of helped me play the game to not have any expectations. Like it's still very much Fallout. You're right, it's missing some elements here and there, and they did take a couple steps back in some aspects. And I could also do without the entire workshop thing. That's like whatever to me. I do it because it's like you do shit in the game. I don't do it and go, I love it. This is so much fun. I love building.
Feel like for modding weapons though, it's way better. Like I love that system. But for
weapon modding is great. I also like that the weapons don't fucking deteriorate. They're just, you have them forever. You don't have to like repair them. I love that. I hated that.
November 2015, by the way.
Holy are you serious?
Yeah.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember it because
old.
That was when it first came out.
God.
That's when I accidentally connected my iPad to Dan's game and I started messing with him.
You blew my mind.
Fun. Such a funny video.
Did it come out on PC at the same time, or was that later? Maybe I'm thinking of the PC
I think PC
release.
was delayed. No, yeah, PC was delayed. A delayed release on Fallout.
That's nuts.
I mean, they've even put out a VR version. It's kind of janky.
Dude, it was fun though. It was fun to play.
Did you play the whole thing in VR?
I didn't do the whole thing. I did quite a bit of it though. But VR games for me, like it was really fun because it was, you know, you could literally just like go on your, you know, little pit boy and like the thing is like, you know, you'd always be holding like a pistol or something. So you'd be like, huh, and like stabbing it with your pistol to like select the next thing you wanted. But VR games I can't play for a very long time. Like you can't do hours and hours and hours in a VR headset. At least I can't.
I feel you.
Yeah. I feel like for me, it kind of depends on the day too. Like I could put in like 3 hours into Half-Life Alyx, and then I'd pick it up again, and within an hour, I'd be like, oh, I kind of want to throw up a little bit. I wonder why.
Yeah, I got
it was like inconsistent.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Half-Life Alyx was good. It was
So
really
good.
fun.
Loved it.
See, y'all know how I am with like first person games in general. So I get motion sickness. So anytime that was applied to VR, it was even worse, especially with like the older Oculus models. When we used to have those at the early stage 5 office and Ryan was playing with them at his desk, I'd put those on for like 5 minutes. And I was like, I'm going to vomit. I can't be in this. And I genuinely thought that VR as a concept was not ever going to be something that I could do or try. I just didn't think like my brain could handle it or my stomach. I can.
It might be worth trying again. Like Half-Life Alyx, I think, is a really good experience. It was a pretty nice implementation. Like you don't do it's not like a game that's been adapted to VR. Like Fallout, I feel like Fallout 4, there's some shit that just doesn't make any sense in VR. Like completely makes VATS pointless. I mean, because you're just a tremendous shot. But Half-Life Alyx is designed around it being VR, so there isn't a ton of like, there's no melee combat whatsoever, and it's just like gunplay, really good like VR gunplay. And everything kind of fits.
This isn't where you see Gladys at the end, right? And she comes down from the ceiling to like look at you.
That's
Portal. Sorry. Yeah, I'm blanking. Yeah, my brain went
Half-Life Alyx is the new one that just came out after what? When did episode 2 come out? Episode 2. What the fuck is it called? Half-Life 2, episode 2.
Yeah, that was orange.
2007. So 13 years later, they released not the sequel, but they're like, we made this VR thing, and people went apeshit over it.
Yeah.
So what he's talking about is brand new. Portal 2 is old as balls.
I cried.
No shame. Awesome.
It just made me laugh.
I talked about it on the other podcast. I legit like pulled off my headset, and there were a bunch of tears going down my face. I was like, it made
was that the first
that.
time you ever cried?
Maybe from content, yeah. And I got it wasn't happy or sad. It was just like overwhelming nostalgia is what did it.
Awestruck, yeah.
It wasn't really anything to do with the story. It was a lot to do with the story, but the story wasn't happy or sad, is what I'm saying.
Damn. The first bell went off there.
It did.
I didn't want to interrupt you crying.
Sorry.
So
Gavin, I cried. Ding.
I let it.
I
Yeah,
cried.
right. You gotta cry every time the bell goes off. That's the first bell. Firsty firsts. I call you thirsty firsties. So don't forget to drink your water or whatever you got. I hear somebody drinking right now. I heard a slurp. It was a small
Ooh.
slurp.
If you've been
Thanks
crying,
for-
drink more.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, you're getting dehydrated. You slurped. It was you.
I swear it wasn't.
Oh well.
It's probably
Stop. No, it was. I don't. It's all of you now. Anyway, thanks, first members. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting. Really appreciate it. Everything is. We live in a city built by First. They erected the walls one brick at a time, and then Gavin shot a mini nuke at it.
Mhm.
And then you ended
MILB.
up with this. And so I feel like Gavin, he glitched out First City. And so we can't go there anymore.
the frame rate's real bad
The
there.
frame rate's
Yeah.
bad.
But
And every time you spawn, a fucking nuke drops on top of you. So we just try to stay away. But you have fun in there. Thanks, First members. That's my decree. The end.
That was nice.
it's good.
Came from right here.
In
You
your
can't
gut?
see it.
Oh.
It's up here. I was too low. This is where your heart is.
I mean, it's not that far
it's
over.
like- yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
right
right
in
in
your
your
arm.
armpit.
Are you okay?
There.
Yeah.
Right there. In your armpit.
Just gotta get the
I
blood
just-
flowing.
I remember Gavin being upset by that. It's just something that sticks with me. Much like the fans and collecting screws. I remember in particular him just being like, why do people put their hand here? That's not where your heart is. And I just always think about that.
What was I saying that?
I mean, maybe it was like in reference to like a Pledge of Allegiance or some shit like that, but it is like standardly, it's people almost grabbing their pec. It's like way over here. And I just remember you were like, you weren't
Infuriated.
having it. Maybe it wasn't infuriated, but he started to cry.
I think it was.
Yeah,
who was
I was
important?
I was
It was
crying.
happy
the
tears.
nostalgia
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
Of a heart.
knowing
It's
what the
like
heart was.
of him just being like, it's in the middle. It's barely off from the middle.
I mean,
It's
our
like a
horrible
little
American
bit left in
education system. Yeah. Slightly to the left of the sternum, right?
But I think I think
don't
it's
know.
important that it is
I'm not a
that it is like
doctor.
mostly in the middle. Otherwise, like one side of your body would be at a disadvantage.
Well,
Maybe
that's
mine
weird
is,
that it's
you
not
don't know where
symmetrical.
it is.
I've heard that's allegedly why a lot of women's like one breast is bigger than the other is you have heavier blood flow in one boob.
It's got like a blood titty and
Jeremy,
I
look
do.
it up.
My left titty is the blood. titty.
Google boobs, blood flow. Get to the bottom of this.
Have you seen Blood Diamond? Blood titty is way more
it's the
revealing.
prequel.
Yeah.
Blood titty.
Blood
He's
breast asymmetry.
He's researching. We'll let him dive into the field. Now I just want
Why-
to play Fallout. Now I'm just listening to the fucking music. So
I know. I want to play Fallout now that you've been talking
You know what
about it.
you know what I think happened too, Gavin, by the way? Right on
What's
the
that?
homepage of Fallout 4 PC, it says like it's like Fallout 4 mod update or whatever, because they have mods like built into the game that you can
Yeah.
use. It's like community created mods, and you can just pop it right in. But unfortunately, I mean, obviously they're mods. It fucks with achievements. So I started the game. I'm like, oh, look at all these super convenient mods. And it's like, oh, this robot will just clear all the fucking trash every time you have a community and you don't got to clean it up. Oh, this makes crap not weigh anything. I'm like, awesome. And then I went to start the game. It's like, you're not getting achievements with this, right? And I went, well, turn those
Oh,
off.
man.
Bummed out.
I wish there was a
But-
mod that just made Preston piss off out of Sanctuary so I could live in peace.
But on the homepage, that message, it's like, Fallout mod update, blah, blah, blah. We want to celebrate for the Creation Club being 3 years old. And I think my brain just saw that and just assumed the game was 3 years old.
Oh.
I don't know what. I guess I don't know if the mod thing is Creation Club. I think that didn't launch with the game.
Jeremy, I appreciate that you're still intently searching
Well, he's
for answers.
Going through a lot of sites.
No,
I'm doing
good.
a lot of reading.
You're doing my work for me.
He keeps
Thank you.
having to confirm his
91% of
age
women
for
have
some
some
reason.
asymmetry.
Mhm.
Let's see.
Do blood make
God.
heart booby bigger?
Yeah, hang on. Let me just, like control find heart.
Y/N question mark?
I just looking like doing control find heart. Sentences for those who are very athletic, the left rib cage may be slightly higher than the right because the heart and surrounding muscles have lifted the rib cage slightly. So maybe that would like move the breast out a little bit.
my
So
God.
it's just kind of shoving it.
Yeah, I'm learning a lot about myself right now.
Okay.
Michael,
Some
there was
patients
something.
who are right-handed or left-handed may also have a difference in the fullness of that muscle because they use it more. So if the muscle develops more, that would make the breast appear larger if the muscle underneath it is also larger.
That makes sense. There was something you said recently, Michael, that made me laugh, but I can't remember what it was. You made some sort of, I don't even remember what video it was. You made some sort of explanation or exclamation. You were like, what? And you just said some gibberish, but it ended in bongo. And I remember it making me laugh so much, but I don't remember what the first part was. It was like something bongo. Do you remember what it was?
Bongo.
No
Right?
idea.
No.
Damn it.
Could
I don't know
not.
what it was. I can't find it.
Gavin, you tell me that story and I know it's true, but I could also listen to you and go, I've never said bongo. And like in my own head, I would pass a lie detector test. Like, did you say bongo? No. It's like,
All
he's
right,
telling
audience,
the truth.
if you see the video where Michael said blank bongo,
Yeah.
and then I laugh like a madman, please let me know what it was. 'Cause I want to watch
I've
it again.
heard bingo bongo, but I don't think it was that.
I don't think it was bingo bongo. That's memorable.
That's what's the movie about the feelings? Pixar. Come on. That's Bing Bong. That's what I'm thinking of.
Right. That is.
That's Inside Out.
Yeah, Inside Out.
yeah,
that's it.
yeah.
Thank you. I was like, Jeremy,
Bingo
help me out, man.
bongo.
Stop looking at boobs.
I'm
for 2
sorry, I was really.
I don't know. He was, well, the man was trying to get to the bottom
A
of the
lot of
scientific,
research
I
is
know,
happening.
science.
Also, it probably
phenomenon.
doesn't help that I'm actively, like, as I'm doing this, clicking a pen near my crotch over and over again. Which probably
Jeremy,
certain ways.
I've been doing this for the whole podcast right next to my
Okay,
crotch.
but the one
Yeah,
I'm
but
using.
we couldn't hear it till now, so I don't care. Stay flashing the lights again. Stop.
I'm sorry.
the
Yeah, I have a
Mafia
different
3 pen.
I have a different fiddle thing. I have this small, like rubberized magnet that's stuck to my desk, and I stick this screwdriver in it, and I like wiggle it around, and I pretend it's like a pinball plunger sometimes.
That's so
And that's-
crazy. You're a
that's what I do now.
Oh,
two-hander.
that's a good one.
Yeah, I'm just like
Look.
waggling it.
Like, look how satisfying
I don't
this
think
pen
I-
is, though. I mean, this
I
is
don't
the
think I
most
fiddle
satisfying
with
pen. Look at the
hands.
size of that.
Whoa!
And
Very
then
nice.
it goes in, right? And then you click the side, and it's back up. I mean, it's just like, that is the most fidgety pen in the world.
Now, for you and Gavin, I don't think Michael does this. He's more of like, Michael talks to himself like I do. And so we're both just two crazy people talking to ourselves in the house. But like when you don't have something in your hand to click with, do you make like noises with your fingers or do you like the stuff around the house?
I don't think I do anything like that.
All the time.
I just
I'm like a
can't stop
one-man
moving my
band.
legs at all times. They don't make any
Yep.
sound, but I'm just like restless leg 24/7.
I don't. The term "talk to yourself," not like there's an actual conversation going on. I'm not schizophrenic. It's I talk out loud, like I think, and I
Yes,
just talk
do as well.
sometimes. So I just like run through. But it's funny. It's like I don't know. It's never more apparent of how fucking crazy it is than having a like a 3-year-old, because she'll just be like, "What are you talking about?" And I'll go, "Oh, you heard that?" Like I forgot.
Yep.
I forgot you can understand what I'm saying and also speak. So like I'm just like sitting next to her and I'm doing something on the computer, you know, and I'll be like, "What is this?" And she goes, "What's what?" I'm like, "What? What are you talking about? What are you talking about?" She's
Mhm.
like, "Oh yeah, I said that out loud." And but then it's like she's at that threshold where I say something and then that registers, but I can't explain why I said it. You know, where I'm like, well, no, I was just thinking, and she'll just go, "Thinking?" I'm like, "Yeah, I was just thinking out loud." And sometimes people, when they think, they say it out loud instead of think. Like, and then I'm like, "Fuck, does she know what thinking is? How do I explain
Mhm.
thinking?" I'm like, you know, when you like your words before you say them, like in your head, and she's just gone at that point. She's like, I'm not listening. I don't care.
Thinking is a hard concept and dreaming is interesting because I've had a few nights with her recently where it seems like she's come out of her bedroom and she's talking about something that happened that I don't think actually happened. I think she's like dreaming about it, but I can't explain to her that didn't actually happen, and it's just like your brain making something up.
Yeah.
So I don't
What
know.
she
It's
also
like, how do you
does is-
conceptualize that?
You're also confusing dreaming with lying.
Also true.
A
It
lot.
could very well
She
be a
just
lie.
comes up to me and tells me something
Straight up lie.
happened, and I'm like, sometimes I'll fall for it, but most times I'll just go, "I don't think that's right." Like she'll just say something that I just know factually cannot be correct, and I'll just go, "What happened? Mommy said that? Yeah." yeah. Or it'll be like just anything. Mommy did this, or mommy drove away. I'm like, no, mommy's downstairs. No, mommy left. And I'll just go, I don't think that's right. You should check on that. I think you're spinning a tale.
Well, the real mommy left long ago.
Ooh, got a Avril Lavigne situation. Won't think of her name.
Oh yeah, that whole conspiracy.
Yeah,
Michael will
okay?
just say shit though. Just like sometimes you can talk for a minute and you won't have said anything. Like you'll just be. We were talking about this the other day. You'll just be in the office and you'll be like, "Take your dick out, put it in your pants. Take it out of your pants and put it up your butt. There's a dick in your butt. Where's your dick gone?"
Yeah.
But it's just like
I feel like I've said. hang on. 'Cause I feel like I've just said a lot.
That's a whole story.
You'll just
That's
be
the whole
at your,
story.
at your
That's true.
desk, and I'll be sat next to you, just like, are you talking to us, or is it just like a dick rap? Are we just okay? It's going in
It's
your
a
butt.
combination of things. It's
And
like
then eventually
I'm
I'll
bored,
just be like-
or I'm waiting for something, and it's a dick rap, and I want attention.
Yeah, and we're all looking. It's like, is this going to turn into you saying something? And I'll be like this. I'll be like, I don't think it is. Nope. I'll go back to what
Yeah.
I'm doing, and then
Right.
another word will catch my attention. I'll be like, what's he saying? and I'll go on for like 90 seconds.
Yeah,
and it'll just
I've
be
had
like
to-
an event in the day.
I've had to rein it in a little bit on some of those songs at home, just around children.
Yes.
it in.
Well, because your
well, it's
usual
like-
go-to for those songs were dick or poop was the two.
I'd say
Those are
poop a
the
lot.
two
Poop's-
hot topics
poop's
in Michael's improv
poop's all
songs.
in the-
Poop's a great one.
Poop's funny.
Yeah.
It's so
Kid-friendly.
funny.
I mean,
like
like,
it is
you know-
kid friendly too. Iris talks about poop all the time because she poops.
As the person that
So-
listens to these songs the most, I would
Yeah.
argue, I appreciate them. I'm just saying, try and branch out a little bit.
No,
Find
I'm
some new
saying
material.
no. I
Did
don't
you
need
say
material.
my
You just-
impression was accurate, Lindsay?
It was, yeah. No, like I do the same thing though, but mine's more mundane and just about like shit that I'm looking at. I'll be like, oh, there's my phone. I left it over here. Gonna open the door and hug my kids. Boo doo doo.
But the thing is, you definitely don't do that around people. That's more of a private
myself,
you
yeah.
thing.
Yep,
I
just-
look for an audience. I
You'll be
see
like,
there's something
no one
happening.
has said anything in here for over 30 seconds.
Right.
Time to
and
make a
also,
song.
if I can get someone to go, "What are you talking about?" then I've got what I wanted. That's it.
I
can get-
that only works like 2 or 3 times though, and then eventually we're all just like,
Yeah, but
Just
see,
let-
you looked. That's
just
the
go,
one.
oh yeah, because someone started talking.
I'm just saying.
Around the house, the only thing that I'll do is like I'm almost always singing a song. Either it's playing in my head or I'm quietly singing it out loud. Pretty much at any point in my life, there's a song playing in there. And like I'll like be singing the song, but as I see one of my cats, the song will now become about them.
Mhm.
Like the subject of the song changed. Like I've been singing "Zombie" a lot recently, like by the Cranberries,
Cranberries, yeah.
right? So instead of "Zombie," I can say "Zippy." So if I see "Zipper," that is now the song. The song is now "Zippy," and the words "purr" and "fur" rhyme, so that's usually part of the verses as I'm singing to them, and about what characteristics they have and how they're looking and things
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. That's
We,
just the songs.
Couple nights ago, we were singing "That's a Luna" to Luna. We're just really hyper.
That's a
That's a
Luna.
Luna.
And you can get away with it too, though. But with Iris, again, she's in that thing where like whatever, she's watching Dora the Explorer, and I'll do the same thing where the song's on. It's like Dora, and I'll just go Iris, Iris, Iris the Explorer. She'll go, not Iris, Dora. No, stop. No, stop! Not Iris. She's like, you sing the fucking song
do
right.
not erase
stop,
her.
stop putting my
Pissed
name
off
in
at
it.
you.
She doesn't like if I change the lyrics, and I do it constantly.
Now, with
and
songs
she
stuck in
moved
your
out.
head, Jeremy, do you also get like, what's really annoying is I will get songs stuck in my head a lot, and I like music a lot like you do.
Mhm.
But I get just like one sentence or like 3 notes, and it just plays over and over and over again. And I think of like the All-Star video where it's like, and they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming. That's my entire
That
day.
is a literal nightmare.
That's
It's a
my
nightmare,
life.
yeah.
That's
The
my
best,
life.
the best, the
Sucks.
best, the best. I get what will happen to me sometimes is I'll be kind of subconsciously playing through a song in my head, and then I will kind of remember that I'm like thinking of the song. And I'm like, oh, you know what? It's like in my head. I'm kind of just sitting here. Maybe I'll kind of sing it out loud a little bit. But like in a weird, bizarre way, I'll start singing it earlier than the point it's in my head. So now I've got 2 tracks playing. I've got my head track and my mouth track.
Whoa.
And they're not lined up, and I'll get all fucked up and stuff.
That's
because it will
weird.
just keep auto playing past the point that I've started singing.
It's so funny because, like, I know people have like listen to music and a lot of music. You being like song in my head 24/7. Shy of a song being on the radio or whatever be playing or someone singing it. I feel like it's utter silence in my brain.
Oh,
Like when I'm
I
driving,
do.
if I don't have the radio on, it's just like, and I'm just like,
Oh.
that's where like the pee-pee and poopy songs come out. You're
Why
talking
don't you
about
just-
like real music.
Why don't you just think of something?
Well, I mean, I think about stuff, but like the last thing wouldn't be music. There's no soundtrack. There's no soundtrack in my mind at all. When like, if music isn't playing, if a song was never played for the rest of my life, I wouldn't notice it. I'd be like, eh. Like I wouldn't. I don't think I'd hit a point where I crave like I gotta listen to music. I just think about weird shit. I'll just get lost in a daze of like like imagining conversations, or like if I'm going to, whatever, I'm driving to someone's house back when I did that and I'm talking to the person, I'll get lost in a train of thought of like imagining me getting the door. It's like, okay, I'm gonna get the door and be like, what up? And they'll say something and then I could say this and then we walk in there. And then, oh shit, I'm here. All right, it's happening. And like I will waste so much of my life not imagining things of like, and then I'm gonna say fuck you to the guy, like, some sort of burn, or like, people think about shit they don't do in real life. It's just like literally I'm like, this is how the conversation is gonna go. And then I have the conversation and I'll be like, I got 70%.
So you must hate change. You must hate unpredictable things that happen in life.
Yeah,
in
Michael's not really
certain-
a spontaneous person.
Well,
I would
the
argue.
difference is if there's planning or not. If it's just me just imagining shit, it doesn't really bother me. If there's like a set plan and then it gets changed for no reason, then I'm like, I have to readjust. I've gotten better with it over the years, but like it really depends on the reasoning. If it's just like didn't feel like it, or like, okay, this is what we're gonna do, this is what time we're gonna go, this is when we're gonna leave, this is what we're gonna do, we're gonna get there, and everyone in the group is all like in agreement of this, and then it just like I find out that there's like a fucking mole somewhere else changing the plans and they don't let me know, and then I show up and the plans have been changed, then it's like I gotta fucking rework everything. I've just have this mental like I've planned it out. I know what's going to happen. Why isn't this happening? I didn't get a memo.
I love how different we all are. I love it.
Yeah, I was like, I
We
grew
are
up.
different people.
I mean, like, I guess I grew up with scheduling too, but it was never my schedule. It's like people had stuff planned for me, so I'm pretty used to like spontaneously changing the plans. I was pretty go with the flow. So yeah, Michael and I are very opposite in that sense. So
I think a lot for me was I kind of grew up on film sets, honestly, and I would go to most jobs having absolutely no idea what I was going to be doing that day. I would sometimes not even know what the thing was. Like, is this a TV show? Is this a music video? Like, what are we even doing? I'm just showing up with the camera, and then everything would be like changing on the fly, and you just have to be like, all right, oh, that's not working out. All right, we're gonna do this, okay? And I would just constantly be like, no long-term planning of any work, just like constantly adapting to stuff that people are coming up with like in the moment. And that's like that's had like an effect on me now, where it's just like I'm kind of comfortable in that, oddly. Where it's like I don't need like a set plan. It's just like, oh, we'll see what happens.
that is
Yeah,
very like industry. And I would argue for you, Gavin, you seem like a bit of both. You seem like the kind of person who, when you're on set, if something does have to change, you're like, okay, like not the best, but we'll make it work. But if it's like longer term plans get changed, then you're like, like I'm busy. I'm sorry, I can't like have that change. This has been in the books for a while.
Some stuff is like, you have your pillars in life where it's like, I'm working towards this thing or whatever, and it's like you can kind of do it long term, but it just in like day-to-day stuff, I'm just totally fine without a huge plan at all times.
I guess I innately like I end up planning things because it gives me something easier to like focus on. But like I guess the difference there in that context would be like, you don't know what you're doing. So there is no plan. You're just going to show up and you're going to figure it out. But I'm more like, if someone's like, okay, this is what we're doing, this is what you need, then you get there and they go, oh, we're not doing that anymore. But do you have this other stuff? And you're like, well, no, I didn't bring that. You told me we were doing something else. That would fucking throw me for a loop.
Yeah.
If it's like I had equipment or whatever that I needed, and I'm like, well, I thought we were doing A, and like, oh, no, that changed. And it's like, cool, I'm finding this out now. And then, but then it's like, well, what? Well, can you do it? I don't know. Can I? That's when I started to get pissed off.
Like we've had experiences like working on some live action projects here where people like start freaking out if something changes, or like act of God and something, you know, we have to quickly pivot and everyone starts freaking out and everyone's yelling at everyone. It's like, woof, I feel like you're in the wrong job if you like go in turbo freak out. We need to just be able to quickly pivot right now.
I've seen you freak out a couple times yelling at people, throwing coffee.
Yeah.
Gavin's a big coffee thrower. He doesn't like punch.
I'm big at like
coffee,
throwing coffee, spitting, and then going for a headbutt, just in that order.
Going in for it while they're blinded by the coffee.
I can see both sides there. I understand, especially when there's a lot of money and time on the line. Like, yeah, of course, it's frustrating when shit changes. But yes, I would argue in the entertainment industry, especially, shit changes all the time. I mentioned it before, but I worked in news before coming to RT. So that was extra, like, shit changes on the fly. Like, anything could happen at a moment's notice. And they're like, okay, everything you've done this morning, toss it in the garbage, burn it. I don't care. We're going to this street right now and we're covering this for the rest of the day.
There's a meteor.
Like, that's what's
meteor
happening.
landed.
Yeah,
much,
I mean that's the thing, especially when you're on a set and you know you have hours and hours of planning, days of planning, and then you have to cram it all into like 10 hours, and every hour costs thousands of dollars. The act of freaking out wastes way more money, than just trying to quickly like have a little sit down and be like, oh, what are we doing? You know, okay, we could do this. But freaking out and like yelling at everyone, which is, I've seen a lot of people do, is the biggest waste of money.
Yeah,
it's insane. It's insane.
Are you talking about me?
Nope.
You said
I know you're not, because that would assume I had some sort of authority. You're not talking about. I'm yelling. Like, what's he yelling about? I don't know, but he's not talking to anybody. He's just over there
ranting.
Yeah, he's
You don't
yelling
want
at his
authority.
golf club or something.
He's making up songs about poop and
Trust me,
dicks.
Michael.
Just ignore him.
What's up, Jeremy?
You don't want authority.
Jeremy, there's a reason I've never had it. I know I don't want it.
Yeah.
I want nothing to do with it.
Yeah. But like, because that's the thing, is like there are the people who get mad when stuff isn't going according to schedule and stuff like that. And like Michael knows that I'm sort of in that boat too, of like there's live action shoots that I'm working on right now, and like when things don't quite work, Michael knows that I just have that response of like I'll send an email, like if something isn't exactly what I thought it was, or is taking a little longer than normal, I'll be like, okay, let me look into it. Let me go.
Which is funny because I get to be on both ends of it. You know, they like the, you know, team you work with outside of Achievement Hunter gets that Jeremy, the like, you know, production, you know, or creative Jeremy of like, this is what I want and this is what we're gonna do, and it's not just like the like on camera persona, you know, it's much more of like a planning, a structured or whatever. I get both. I get to be in it and they're like talking, well, Jeremy wants this and this is what, you know, the idea was or whatever. And I listen to it and I go, that's funny because I talk to him and I think it's different. And then like I have you, Jeremy, on the other side, and you're like, what happened in there? Did they do this or did this thing happen? So now like, when stuff happens that I know is like something that's going to go back to you, it makes me giggle because I'm just like, oh, I can't wait to hear about this. Like it's a thing that I'm in that's happening that's like whatever, but then I know it's going to go up a ladder and then you're at the top of the ladder and then I'm going to hear it back about like from you when you're like, what? There's a thing I haven't even sent to you yet.
Oh no.
And like there was a thing happening. We had a conversation in Achievement Hunter about this other thing we're doing.
Yeah.
And in the one meeting, you were like, okay, this is what's going to happen for the people doing this thing today, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, cool. And I made like a throwaway joke kind of referencing the like stuff changing and coming back to you. And I was like, yeah, but what if this happens? And you go, no. And then like 2 hours later, Lindsay was doing a thing and that thing happened. And I took a picture and I was like laughing to myself. And I was just like, I kind of want to send this to him just because it was so funny to me. But I don't actually want to stress him out like dealing with all this shit, so I won't. But it was just like to see the like the chain of command go through when, you know, achievement hunter, a lot of times we do a thing and then the thing happens. But when you're dealing with bigger stuff or more complicated stuff, it filters through 40 people. And there's like any number of reasons why something might not end up exactly, you know, it's like we couldn't get the angle, we couldn't get the equipment, we couldn't, you know, do whatever. But it's just funny to me. I just get enjoyment out of, I know it frustrates you and I enjoy it. I'm gonna send you this picture now. I never sent it.
Are we gonna get a live reaction?
Yeah. Well, oh God, no. Oh man.
It's not extreme.
All right. So even the other day there was something that we're trying to do for this project and RTX. Like we want something for, you know, RTX when it kind of gets announced and everything. And we're talking about what to film, and like the people who were on it hadn't been like fully told yet exactly what they were doing and stuff like that. So you know, they were like, "Are we in this email that has like a list of what we're doing?" Blah blah. And Sarah went, "Yeah, there's an email. Here's what they're looking for." And she opened the email and she started reading it like line for line. Like, okay, so you would be doing this, and then you'd want to say this, and, blah, blah, blah. And like as she was doing it, I jumped and went, Sarah, quiet. Guys, we would need you for hopefully about 15 minutes. I need you to film this. Blah, blah. Like I always try to make it sound as easy as possible. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to give too much information because I feel like when a lot of things are given and a lot of instructions given of like, all right, we're going to need to do this, and specifically we're going to need this, and like, and then it becomes a thing of like, well, I don't know about that. But I feel like if I'm like, hey, this is the time period that we're looking at, this is how long it should take, these are the notes that you would hit, and then I want you to kind of ad-lib the rest of that. I feel like that sounds more like, yeah, here we go. This is something you can do. Because every time the team talks to you guys, it always sounds so much worse because they're just talking in terms of production and stuff. And it sounds awful. And I explained to them, I'm like, guys, I'm working so hard to try to keep interest in this, like to try to keep them from like pulling the ripcord. Like, and I'm like, please.
I like the idea of you coming from a meeting with the rest of Achievement Hunter, going back to them and being like, guys, it didn't go down well.
No, it didn't go down well.
It didn't land.
Just let me handle this.
That basically, like, I mean, it's different because we're Rooster Teeth and we're a little unconventional, although we do follow some like studio mentalities, or we like have similar roles, but we fluctuate a little bit more, I would say. But that is exactly like, that's an assistant director, is someone who just runs back and forth from creative to like the red tape people and go, okay, listen, like we need this.
Look at him.
I know, I'm sorry. You know, Jeremy, you're a great AD. You're an amazing AD, Jeremy. You're so good.
You're breaking him.
Was I right?
Oh no.
Was I right?
Oh no. What? She won't use those.
I sat here and I giggled. Jeremy.
I have no idea what this involves, but it's very funny watching.
It's like, well, the thing is, like, it's a man who's been broken down. It's not really a big deal at all. But I was like, oh, this will tickle him. This'll. I honestly thought this will get a sigh, and that's exactly what you did.
Sure enough,
it's just you going, why?
Yeah, it's
why
a lot
have you done
why.
This?
It's a lot
Jeremy,
of why.
What were you saying about assistant director, Lindsay?
Oh, I was saying he's a fantastic assistant director because that's what they do, is they run back and forth from creative to administrative. People who say, I want everything, and they go, okay, yeah, sounds good. And then they go over to producer and they go, hey, they want everything. And producer goes, we don't have that in the budget. We can't do anything. And they go, okay. And then they go back to the director and they kind of like have this halfway point that they meet where they're like, okay, we feasibly cannot do these following things, director. However, I'm going to try and phrase it in a way that makes it sound like we've lost no creative whatsoever and keep you happy as talent and creative. And Jeremy's doing a great job of that.
I,
job, Jeremy.
I act as an achievement hunter translator is my goal. I'm like, I want to take the several pages of stuff that you've sent me and I want to condense it into a few sentences
Yeah.
as like here's what you're going to be doing, achievement hunter.
The rest of the production is the square peg, and Achievement Hunter is the round hole, and Jeremy's like the adapter. He's like, you need to
We'll
put
force
your
it in.
shit
He's
in
torn-
this,
he's-
and I'll
yeah.
shove it in the round hole.
He's torn, man. He's
Yeah.
right in the middle.
Like it's not even like Achievement Hunter is just a round hole and then the production's a square peg. It's like Achievement Hunter is a round hole and the production is it could be a round peg, but it's like this big.
Yeah.
And they're like trying to shove it in this hole, and I'm like, guys, you gotta let me kind of
Put your back into
cram
it.
the round hole is on fire, and their round peg is
Right.
really flammable.
Right.
Now, I will ask, because I do think it's a reflection of people in general, being on set and knowing that I guess you guys are a little bit more easygoing with stuff changing last minute. How are you with like friend planning? Because I've talked about hanging out with certain groups of friends and how there are levels of planning and preparation that need to be done for certain groups. For example, if we hang out with someone like Gavin, usually we're like, we need to have something planned. Gavin's not the kind of person who's going to come over to our house and just chill for like and do whatever. We
Yeah,
got
I
to
feel
like,
sure,
have
but
dinner planned or
there's like
something.
very little needed to be a qualifier, like bevs, board games,
yeah.
Yeah,
swim.
there's something.
It's
It's
not
also-
like
that's what I'm saying.
I don't
it's
need an
also-
itinerary.
There's also
No.
there's a spreadsheet here where like you go through availability. You know, it's like if Gavin and Meg are going to come over back when they did,
Good times.
that's like you know, we'd have to plan that shit just to find a day. So it's like, okay, if they are going to come over, let's make sure we're doing something. Just so it's not like what's up, hi, I don't know.
well,
But then there's like
I do
more.
have some friends like that.
That's what
They're
I'm
like,
saying.
You want to
but
just come over
again,
and like
there,
sit
there
on the
are
couch?
more. It's just different depending on like who you're talking to. I think, and I think it's just like a conversation Lindsay and I have of like we've got people where it's like, oh shit, we thought we were gonna do something tonight, but now we're not. Should we invite so and so over in an hour? You and Meg would not be at the top of my list because there's no fucking way you'd be able to come over. Maybe once in a million, but it'd be like an hour note. That's just absurd. Like you guys just have so much going on, and I would imagine something is taking place. Just be like,
Yeah.
come over an hour.
That's about right.
It's just like a Rolodex of friend groups.
Rolodex.
Kat
What
and
are
I
you,
actually
60?
we just recently had a conversation similar to this of like we were talking to some friends and you know, and just like obviously hanging out in this time period in this day and age is not the easiest thing in the world right now, but like she's the kind of person that will get messages from people being like, hey, we need to hang out soon, or like, oh, we should like, you know, we should get together at some point soon and do this again, or like whatever like that. And she was saying to me, she was like, you know, I get these messages. Is that them telling me that they want me to plan it? And I was like, yes, absolutely. Like, I don't get those messages because people know that I won't do shit. Like, I absolutely will not. Like, if someone's like, oh man, we should absolutely like set something like this up at some point, I'm like, great. When I get the invite, like I'll be there.
Right. I feel like that's on the person sending it saying, hey, we should hang out. When are you free?
Right. And
You
then
know,
that
or like,
next,
how's
that when are you
Saturday?
free doesn't happen, or like,
Oh, yeah.
you know, yeah, let's do that. It's basically like if you say that without a follow-up, that is you saying to the person, hey, you should set up a time at some point and then invite me to these. But you know what I mean? Like that's kind of what that is.
Unfortunately, I feel really bad saying this, but it's totally true. Like I'm horrible with planning and responding to text messages. I'm the worst. So if I do, sometimes I'll do that and I'll be like, we should hang out, like knowing that I can't plan that right now because I'm so
Mhm.
overwhelmed and like it's insane. But I've put that idea in your head, and maybe because your life is more put together, you'll try and schedule this.
I understand that. Yeah, I do totally get that. And like Kat's good at it. That's another reason that people do that to her, because she's good at then saying to me, hey, how about this night? Let's like invite everybody over on this night. Like, how about this person, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah. And then she'll send messages.
Yeah, she's pretty organized.
She is.
She seems like she's the showrunner, and you're the guy. You're the yes man. You're the guy who comes in for backup. You're like, what do you need? I'm here for you. Like, I'm your big guns, maybe. Yeah, you want to dispute me and for your wife?
You guys are great hosts.
We try to. Well, when we eventually get to that point where it's like this is happening, like then I turn it on. Like I get that from my dad. My dad is like, if someone's coming over the house for any reason, it's an event. You know what I mean? Like usually it's kind of like you don't really need to have anything around, but like my dad always kind of, because I watched him growing up, of like, oh hey, you know, my uncles are coming over to watch the game or whatever. He's like, all right, we got to make sure we got like this much beer. We got the cooler like in this room. It's got all the ice in it and everything. You know what? Let me cook up some chicken wings just so we have something to eat. Hey, you know what? And then I'll make sure I order this and like we'll clean this area and like he just like goes nuts for like his brother coming over, you know.
Like
and so I just got totally used to that of like a thing.
Then I get chicken dip.
You get buffalo chicken dip. I spilled the beans about the buffalo chicken dip to Chilled, and now he's like very interested in it.
Oh,
because he's never had it.
It's good shit.
Get in line.
Get in line.
I'm saying that's good shit that does not sit well with you.
Oh
in
no,
in your tummy.
Especially like when I make the big trays of it, when like I have people over, most of it gets eaten, but not all of it. So when everyone leaves and I'm there with a quarter of a thing of buffalo chicken dip left, I'm like, well, I don't want to lose money on this.
Yeah.
You know, and so I just like go at it, you know, and
I'll lose health instead.
Jeremy,
Yeah.
why are we the same person?
And you run out of chips and you just get a spoon.
The buffalo chicken dip is the red creeping onto my health bar, like the radiation.
Yeah,
You got to get rid of it.
you need like dip
Some
away
arches.
to get rid of
By
stuff.
eating it.
Dip away or a spritz chamber.
Yeah. Oh, I miss seeing people. It was
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, it seems cheesy, but I don't care. Like when we Skype and stuff like this, for a half a second I go, "Oh, hey friends,"
Yeah.
It's nice
and then
to
I
see
go
a
into a cheat
face.
hunter mode. Yeah.
It was like, you know, I wouldn't say we were the most social people to like actively make plans, like to go do stuff, but stuff happened a lot that we could just show up to. It's a lot harder once you have kids. You can't just on a whim leave and go, oh shit, we're going to a bar, or you know, people are having people over somebody's house or something like that. But before kids, I felt like we still did a fair amount where we'd be like, yeah, we'll do that thing. But there was also plenty of kind of those open invitations of, oh, we should hang out sometime. And it would just be like, not that I didn't want to, but you know, there's no plan. Whether we do or not, I don't really care either way. I can go over this person's house. I could stay at home and fucking play video games or something. Doesn't really matter to me either way. 2021, boy, I really hope I can fucking leave my house and go like do things. You know what I mean? Like coming out of this, I really want to be like, take people up on their offer, leave your fucking house, interact with people. I'm just so goddamn bored at home. It's not to say bored of like have free time. I have no free time, but when I do have free time, I'm bored. It's like constant work and just living the work from home life. And then, okay, what am I going to do? Well, I'm not going to leave my house.
Yeah.
Guess I'll just wait for work tomorrow.
You just end up like waiting for tomorrow
with no music playing in his head. Silence.
Nothing.
Yep.
Nothing. It's fucking silence.
Well, with kids now, we just have like home adventures.
It's an oasis.
Yeah, so we're like, let's play pretend with the kids and just like imagine we're on vacation. Ooh.
But there was a time, I think it was like a few months before the world burned, but there was a freak night where you guys both were out, like you had a babysitter or something, or like you didn't have the kids, and Meg was out of town, and we just all went out for dinner, like the three of us, and then Bevs, and I was like, and I had all these feelings of like, this is what we used to do. This is like the old times. I had so much fun, and it was like just some sporadic like dinner and Bevs, and that was it. But it was so fun, and then the world ended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we
never
were
did it
celebrating our
again.
anniversary, and that's why we
I don't think.
Why was I?
I
there?
don't think we invited
Yeah.
Gavin to that.
I don't know.
I would
Yeah, I
definitely.
don't know.
Gavin, I'm
Yeah.
going to tell you, this is absolutely something
Hey.
she would recommend, and I
Also,
would say no.
I will.
So there's no way that happened.
That might be true, but you were the
It is
first person
true,
to
for
mention
sure.
that your anniversary is with Gavin on Valentine's Day. You're like, me and Gavin, it's Gavin Day. I'm like,
The day.
yep.
What does that have to do with
Gavin Day.
anything, though?
It is
But I don't
Gavin Day.
invite him with us. I'm going to say, like, hey, we're going on a dinner date. Let's
Yeah.
invite Gavin, too. I'm not crazy.
I mean,
We
he's
usually
welcome to
just count how many years it's been and have a little cheeky text. That's usually
That's
what
it.
is.
Yeah. Or like a tweet and leave it at that.
Oh, a
Lindsay's
tweet.
over here trying to invite Gavin to our anniversary.
come. True.
It's like
Hey,
a
wanna come?
candlelit dinner for two, and I'm just like,
It would be a thing.
pulling up a
It would be
chair.
a thing. This is a classic Lindsay.
I
It would
do
be
this
a thing
a
where
lot.
she would spring it on you and me at the same time,
Mhm.
right? Like it would be the three of us standing there and her going like, "Yeah, so we're going out tomorrow night. You should come with us." And you would say, "For your anniversary?" And then I would say, "No, he's not coming with us. Why would he come with us?" It's just like that's a realistic scenario right
It's
there. Something
happened
that
more than
probably
once.
has
I'm
happened.
pretty sure that has
Yep,
happened. Where I'd
It
be
has.
like, where my response is like, looking at Michael like, I don't think I'm going, and Michael would be like,
Right.
no, he's not going.
I'm like, why would you invite? We'll go out with him the next day. Why
know.
would we do this day?
Yeah.
It's my
or even,
stupid
like,
people-pleasing brain. It's like I don't want him to feel bad, but he doesn't even want to come. But my brain says, "Don't
It's
leave
just-
him out."
You don't always need to invite people to everything. I just go, that makes no sense.
Those bevs were fun though. I'm pretty sure it wasn't the day of your anniversary though.
Whatever. We were gone
should
for
do it again.
something.
Like,
2021.
well, you can.
2021?
I'll set up 2 tables in my backyard, and we'll just sit across the yard.
6 feet
And
in between.
I'll put. No, we should just
No, the whole
we should
yard.
Go a whole yard.
Yeah.
I got a lot of space. I'll put little binoculars on each table and walkie-talkies.
Those things
Hell
you
yeah.
put the quarters in. Like in view.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
one that's anchored
you
to
could-
the ground.
Yeah, you can stand on it.
Oh, but Jeremy, here's the trick. You put your eyes up there, you take them away. I left some little marks. No, yeah, I pranked you.
I pranked
you.
The little black marks around my eyes. Oh,
Now you
I
look
look
like a
such a
raccoon.
fool.
Oh,
You'll really fool me.
well, we did another one.
Anywho,
It was nice to be on it. I haven't been on it in ages.
You haven't, and you
Off
weren't.
topic, too
you
many.
You got the schedule change, and you were a last second addition, and I allowed it.
Someone somewhere decided to record every episode of Face at the same time as Off Topic every week, but this week's was moved.
There it is. So
Yeah,
now maybe if you like beep face, I don't have that technology. But you also like off topic. Maybe you like beep face just a little bit less now.
Oh, maybe.
you kn-
Hey,
you
I'll
know-
beep for you. You ready?
Still
Yeah.
Gavin.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Fuck face. I think that worked pretty well. What? What?
I'm gonna sell this thing. It doesn't work.
What do you- well, your beep should have been louder.
it wasn't only not loud enough. It wasn't in the same spot at all.
Well, it's all
It's all delayed.
it sounded
great.
better for me,
Oh,
but
I
also because I said it.
I thought the fact that it was so
Oh my
out of
God.
time was the joke. Were you not trying to
Well,
do
I'm
that?
sure it was. No, for me it was pretty on time,
Oh.
but
Nailed it. Nice.
I'm sure
that was awesome.
I'm sure realistically it wasn't close at all.
Oh my god.
Not even slightly.
I was doing something the other day where over a web call it was like, okay, both of you say this thing at the exact same time. And we tried it like 2 or 3 times, and on the 3rd time we said it, and in my head I went like, oh my god, we fucking nailed it. And then the other person was like, fuck, this will never work. That sucked. And I was like, oh, I guess we didn't nail it. I think the only way if it worked on both ends would be if neither person heard it perfect.
Well, yeah, if
'Cause
you're
then
trying
it's
to time
pushing
it,
it's got to be in the middle.
even at its best, you're still limited by the speed of light, which
Don't get
You know,
me started.
registers at this distance. It's not going to be on top of each other.
What is Christ?
Oh,
Oh no, the
Oh
speed.
god. Stop it.
Ah! Ah!
Gavin and Jeremy, what are some of the favorite sound effects you have on your little stream board?
We gotta wrap
leave
this
with.
up
That
and
we can
you
leave
dove
with. I
back
just
in.
said that we can leave
Well,
with.
you got there because I started getting antsy.
that's
Good
my
ones.
favorite.
I have the cheap one, so I just have beep.
Oh, that's it.
You get the
That's a-
beep.
So
yeah.
I got no
The
sample
beep is
button.
good.
They don't have any of those, man. I checked like 2 months ago just because I got jealous of your beep. Couldn't
Yeah.
even get the beep.
Yeah, dude.
They're all sold out.
I bought
People
one
went
like the
beep
moment we went
crazy.
home. I was like, we're in this for
They're
the
good.
long run. I'm buying shit.
I gotta buy a beep.
I like
You can
a-
customize the colors on it too. So mine is all purple and orange.
Hmm.
Disgusting.
It's not disgusting. It's beautiful.
I like your walkie-talkie filter. Kind of walkie us out.
yeah. See? Yeah.
Oh,
It looks kind of red in this
Oh,
light,
just-
but
just Garbage hideous.
look at it. It's so nice. Ooh,
I
have
can't
a
be
lie
upset.
here.
I'm half Remy Tim now, so
Oh, look at all these lies I have on my desk.
Oh, whose lie is it?
This one's Troy Baker's. This one is Iffy's. I once told a man I died in a car crash. Who was that? I forget who did that. I think Ryan told that lie, but I forget whose story that actually was. I was once trapped by 40 goats. That was Cole. A black belt in Taekwondo. That was Matt. I have everyone's little facts on my desk here.
Matt can fight.
I think
He's got a
So
black
what-
belt.
so. What must have happened is he got the black belt and then said, "I'm done forever."
he'll
Dude,
only use it when he needs it.
I was watching one of those episodes of when Rooster Teeth plays Guess Who with Rooster Teeth characters. Have you seen these
Mhm.
when they do this? And
Yeah.
it was so. There was one where they asked Barbara, like, "Could this person beat you up?" That was the question, and Barbara went, "Yeah, I think so." And they immediately covered Matt Bragg's face. It was like it was immediate. I was like, "Oh man!"
I like to believe Matt's like a drunken master. If we gave him enough donuts, he'd just like annihilate us.
donut
somehow.
master. Yeah.
I think Matt's too full of love to be a fighter.
I don't think so. I think it's pent up.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
I think
think
so.
it's-
I agree.
I think it's surface love. You know, like there's a veneer of love
But
over
it just chips off
That's an
over time.
expensive.
over a dry wall of hate. Yeah.
He's about to break.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Anyways,
hungry.
Bye.
I'm gonna go eat food. Bye bye. It's over now.
It's
the
done.
the show's gonna end, and I'm gonna close my eyes and hear nothing.
happy off topic too many.
You hear that? Silence.
Okay.